Which turn are we reach?
Out turn.
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Out turn.
정지야 스턴 보내줘. 인턴.
I fucking hate you. 손 가져와 달래.
We're not quite starting yet, but I wanted to let everybody know we're going to have Scott Belvage on the air with myself. And we're calling Workin versus Kim, both undefeated in their group. And Scott was just pounding on the glass, taunting Evan, saying he's going to be calling. Evan didn't even want to have the mic because he said that he thought he might swear a little bit.
Yeah, he swears all the time.
I was telling Jordan that before the game we've got the Korean Skip and Vice mic'd up, and I had a little problem miking them up. I normally ask, like, when people wear jackets or a coat or something, I said, oh, do you take that off during the game? Because I don't want to mic it on that.
Right.
And they said, oh, coat? And they took the coat off. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, do you put the coat on during the game? And then they put the coat on, and yeah, it was a little bit of a language barrier.
So what happened in the end?
I ended up shoving the receiver under their undershirt, and then kind of feeling them up a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah,
did they like that?
It was pretty exciting. Yeah, no,
it's kind of a big thing in Korea.
But I did.
Did you? Yeah. I get. You're kind of weird.
Yeah.
My question is, you mic'd them up, but no one's going to understand what they're saying.
I told them to speak in English only. I don't know if they understood, though.
My question is this a junior Korean team, or is this an adult team? Do we know?
You know, their coaches are around. I'll ask him.
Yeah.
One moment.
Are we on the air? Are we? Well, fantastic. Practice time. On sheet 5 at the St. Paul Curling Club. We're going to call a game here. 2 undefeated teams. This is a men's team. Okay, so it's not a junior team.
They do look young.
They do look young. That's good.
I think that they're pretty good.
I mean, they're pretty good too. They're 2-0. They're here in the States. They've probably been here for a while, and they're going to be here all winter long, I would bet, between here and Canada, playing at Cash Spiels.
Yeah, they're talking about coming to the International.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but then they said, their coach said, well, that might be at the same time when the Korean national tournament is happening.
Right.
And I said, well, you might want to choose that.
I would think they would. I don't know how many Korean national teams there are. I would imagine there's 2 or 3 similar to what we have here in our HP program.
Yeah. Isn't it exciting, though, to have, like, teams from, like, Korea, like, coming to the St. Paul Curling Club to play, to get experience?
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
I often wonder about the conditions that they play in, you know, in Seoul or in Korea. Dedicated ice, I would think, and you know, I'm sure they're funded by the country. So, what do they do to prepare these guys there? Are they playing on 25-second ice with 5 feet of curl like they are here today?
Yeah.
And you know, just what are those conditions there? And
I'm gonna go.
How well trained are the ice makers?
I'm gonna go and adjust our headset volume.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look at you
while we're doing it,
so that you can talk, because I can't hear it over there, and I want you to tell me if it's louder, thumbs up,
quieter, thumbs down.
I think I'm gonna go quieter. It's a little loud, I think.
I'm a little hungover today, so I'm probably talking a little
What?
loud.
No, that's all right. I can adjust for that. I just think It's just a little loud in my headset.
17.5 inches on that draw from the button, from the pin for the Korean team. And here comes Mr. Evan Workin, the mixed national champion, with his mixed national championship team playing in on the men's side of the cash Spiel. Apparently a team or two might, I think, dropped out last. Oh, that's really quiet. That's too loud. That's too loud. There you go. No, that's too quiet. There you go, right there. That's good. And Mr. Workin covers the pin and flashes the Aaron Rodgers belt, championship belt sign to me up here as he covered the pin. So the Workin rink will have hammer. Both these teams, like we've mentioned, are 2-0. I think we're going to have a fantastic game. I'm asking you, someone's asking me a question. A little conversation going on with the Korean team. They're not speaking in English as you asked them to. So. Can we? Do you have one of those?
Like opera things?
No, like an opera.
Google the Google translator.
Google. That's exactly what I was.
They just said good game.
Good game. Good game. So it's pretty impressive. This mixed team, North Dakota State and U.S. national champs. I think they're about to embark on the World Mixed Championships very soon. I think they do happen this month.
Yep, that's what I understand as well.
Is it in Sweden?
No idea. It's on Thursday.
They leave this Thursday.
Sweden?
British Columbia.
British Columbia.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, this is a great tune-up for him. Great tune-up for him. And quite impressive. I don't know who they beat in their first 2 games. I could look at that. Let's find out. Let's see. We're looking. They beat the Fenner rink Friday at 5.
That's a quality win.
That's a quality win against a good junior team. Let's see. And where else are they on here? They beat the Nico rink, which is the kind of newly minted competitive curlers out of the Four Seasons Club. So 2 good teams that they've defeated. If they can knock off this Korean team, pretty much guarantee themselves some money, maybe.
Yeah. So, do you want me to tell you the members of the Kim squad?
Yes, I do want you to tell me them. This is going to be fun.
Mine's good.
So their lead is Do Young Lee, and their second is Young Glee Lee. Their third is Byung Glin Yoon, and their skip is Suhu Kim.
Suhu Kim. So Lee, is it Lee, Young, and Kim?
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
And you're familiar with the Workin squad.
I am familiar with the Workin squad. You know, a funny thing, a couple years ago, I played them in Fargo in a mixed Spiel and beat them. I was mentioning yesterday that Andy Hovland is my white whale.
Yeah.
I just can't ever seem to beat the guy in league or anything. I think I'm Workin's white whale because I've played against him a number of times in different Spiels. Fun stuff, not competitive stuff, fun stuff. And managed to always come out victorious. And he gets a little fired up about it. They started out wonderful with the hammer. They came right under the lead guard from the Korean team. And his lead, Christine Lammers, threw a very nice shot, top 12, as you can see.
Mine's good.
She's coming under again, so they're not playing the traditional style here where they want to throw a corner guard with the hammer.
Switch.
They are
Jordan, come on.
going right to the middle of the sheet. You see a lot of that happen more and more these days. A little light on this one, but it's still going to function as a corner guard. So
6킬로 잡아야 돼.
Mr. Workin doesn't seem too disappointed in that. He hasn't cussed yet.
I was commentating with Mike Farbelow yesterday, and I don't have the skill yet, but he immediately identified that the red 4 rock runs really straight.
Wow.
And he was playing Team Burr had it, and it didn't seem like they didn't verbalize that they picked up on it, but they just kept on going really straight. So I want to kind of get him, see if I can detect that.
Right. Well, we can look down and probably catch the numbers. I don't know if they've thrown it yet or not. I see the 8 rock, red 8 rock. Let's see if we can get a better angle.
If you knew that information, would you tell that to Evan before the game?
Only if he asked if I knew anything specific about the sheet or the rocks. Then I might say, yeah, you know what, that number 4 red rock runs a little straight.
Like if you're miking him up, maybe? That might be an opportunity to communicate that?
Yeah, you know, whatever, you know. Maybe you shouldn't say anything. You know, you probably shouldn't really, but he's a buddy, so what the hell? It's a cash Spiel. It's not like anybody's going to die or get cut in half. So this end is setting up pretty well for Workin. Trying to decide about clearing off the front with Jordan's first rock here. But the red rock, the red number 4, is sitting down there, and it is in position to be thrown next, I believe. So we're going to find that out.
So can they clean this out? Isn't the 5 rock rule? Oh. This is 6 rock.
6 rock, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the 6 rock thrown, so yes. But good point.
Sort of. Any point that points out that you're not paying attention is a good one.
We got a number of other games going here, 5 to be exact. Some guys, some gals. We're going to update you on scores here soon.
Yeah, we actually have a ticker going now with scores on the bottom. So
oh, sweet.
It makes it a little easier for us. We don't have to do that, but we can comment about specific. I mean, we can give the scores, but we can comment on specific interesting points.
Okay.
I'll run through the teams after this end.
Thank you. Looks like the Korean team's going to open things up as well. Kind of a non-traditional end being played here.
I'm a little disappointed that I think it's Lee is wearing a hat.
He ran it back and made a great long run back, about a 18-foot run back, 16-foot run back. But the house is wide open for a draw under, which Evan is calling for, and Jordan is about to throw, Jordan Brown.
One of these, the two with wearing the hat, has this kind of dyed silver hair. It's really cool.
That's why I thought they were juniors.
Although, looking at them now, I can't imagine either of those guys having.
No, they don't. You know,
maybe they have a 5th.
Or maybe he just dyed it back last night.
Here it comes. Whoa, whoa.
You can't dye back bleached hair.
You can't?
Well, maybe you can.
I don't know. I've never done it. I know who would be able to answer that question.
Who?
Sam Clausen.
Yep, go Rich. Yep,
Oh,
yep. Whoa, whoa.
He's always got brightly colored. I like bright hair, actually.
Jordan makes a pistol. Top 4, perfect shot. Above the tee line. Top of the 4-foot. Wonderful shot. A lot of curl on this ice, so they're able to throw a light downweight hit here, still have it curl. He's got it playing for about 2 feet of curl, probably with about board weight. Maybe even, it looks like he's throwing a little bit more than board. Should curl just fine around that high guard to remove shot rock of the Workin rink. Here it comes. Very nice shot. They're going to get a roll under, too.
Yeah.
Well,
and then that outside yellow kind of.
Yeah. If they had hammer, they would be set up really, really well. They're still doing a nice job of forcing one. Evans calling for another draw under.
You can get by there tight, right?
Yeah.
I love how deep that they can come in. Like this ice swings so much that I'm seeing a lot of real deep draws.
Evans holding about 5 feet here on sheet 5. Second draw after the shave this morning, so ice is going to be a little bit straighter and a little bit
Jordan
heavier
only.
with a full pebble on it and a nice little nip.
Go,
But
go, Jordan.
being that they didn't
Gotta
shave,
go, gotta go. Right here. Go. Keep going.
going to be a little bit slower, but boy, she threw a great shot. Rachel, Evan's wife, Rachel Workin, great shot into the 4-foot right on the tee line. Really making these guys look at what their options are, and they've chosen to draw to it and try to force one here. I like this call, especially without the hammer, obviously. If he locks this on, I can't imagine the Workin rink getting more than one, and they've set themselves up for a steal with a run back. The Kim rink has. If this, he's a little out there, isn't he?
Yep.
Is he going to come all the way back?
Nope.
I don't think so. Is that the number 4 rock? We don't know. It curled very nice, actually.
Well, there is an overhead shot. Oh, we don't have high definition cameras.
He just got that a little too far out. He was outside the broom by a good foot.
Do it again, Rich.
Mr. Workin asking his wife Rachel to make the same shot and lock one down, and now they're looking at a deuce or a triple possibly if this shot goes well. Here she comes, her tuck slide,
A little tight.
classic
Little
North
tight.
Dakota
Yep.
delivery.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Gotta go.
She
Hard.
wrecked on the guard.
Whoa, way on it.
Oh, not the worst thing. Not the worst thing, but would have been really good if they would have locked that into the 4-foot. Kim Rink has a decision to make here, don't they? What is it?
Yeah, that's why I like having you on here, that you challenge me with these questions. I'll just tell you what I would do.
What would you do here?
I'd identify where that 4 rock is.
And?
Could you run those reds on the left?
You wouldn't want to double run back.
I wouldn't do that, but that's...
Try to come through the hole here is what they've decided to do with downweight hit. There's a little port there. It's a tight one, but it's makeable. And if, you open up that left side there a little bit, that's just fine. Expose the yellow shot rock. Or throw a really nice shot through that port, and you're sitting 3. And this is close. When they're on it and off it and on it
It's
and
like
off
a
it,
gentle weight, too.
you know that the shot is pretty much made. This is a beautiful shot.
Nice
Great
shot.
weight, great line. Fantastic shot. He has put the pressure on Mr. Workin to do the same thing, or he's going to draw. He's calling for a draw, it looks like.
Give me a hair extra. Whoa.
He wants to get his draw weight down here early on.
Do you have a hog on my first one?
Yeah, I was 13. But I think it's a little quicker down here now.
Yeah. We just ran 3 there.
I think they need a little more broom. I don't know why they're playing this so tight around that guard. The rocks are bending just fine. This is a very tight broom where sitting that guard is. Where that guard is sitting. What'd you do last night? Did you stay here all night long?
I got a little bit of back.
Yeah, I left about 11:30. I didn't have a single drink until the last draw.
Wow.
And then I used the trick that I learned the first year I started this. I said, boy, I'd really like a whiskey. And I was commentating with Sean, and he said, I'd like one too. And about 2 minutes later,
boom,
it appeared.
Wow. It is incredible.
Magic.
Sean, who are you commentating with?
Sean, Angry Bird.
Oh, yes. Sean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my brain is a little mushy.
Mine is too.
He's sitting over there, though.
Yeah, Murray.
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 Yeah.
Jeepers creepers. Sean does a great job commentating.
Yeah.
Mr. Workin's got a very nice looking draw here. They're on it, off it, on it, off it. Gonna put this right on the lid. got to roll in there a little bit, and he is sitting shot, I do believe. Can you tell over there on the overhead? Great draw by Mr. Workin.
The overhead got switched. I kind of get that switch back here. I'm gonna pause us. Pause me.
What are you gonna do?
컨트롤. 얼마나 보여?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get the far end on one of these overheads.
Okay.
핵이 나을까?
Wonderful. I like these notes you got here on these teams as well. We got some personal notes on a lot of these curlers that are playing in the St. Paul Curling Club cash Spiel. And I am going to go to the Kim and the Workin rink here and pull up a couple of fun tidbits. You know what? There it is. Evan Workin. And there's nothing listed for the Workin rink. We'll pick up a few things here and there. Evan Workin used to be the ice maker at the Fargo Curling Club. And he liked to curl too much, so he didn't spend enough time on the ice. Here's an in-turn hit attempt, and it curled a bit more than the out-turn did for the skip, Mr. Kim. And it has left Workin with an open draw or a little bump back, little tap for 2.
Yeah, it's got to roll a little bit.
Huh?
Yeah, it's got to roll just there. Like,
Basically hit the heat. Huh?
So a bad mistake. You know what they
Well,
say?
no.
You know, have you ever heard
But just to the inside,
saying
fine,
that
right?
greed will
Oh,
get
no,
you the
it's not.
hammer?
You said board weight?
It's a good one because I think they got a little greedy there,
You
and
like that for board weight, that line?
and they're going to have hammer next end, and they're probably going to give up a deuce.
보자마자 말렸지.
I like your sayings. Yesterday you had a saying that I used for the rest of the I used it almost every draw. You said something about, I probably
Just board here,
bitched
just
it
on
all
the
up, but
inside.
it was like
We're fine.
when you're up, your guards aren't.
Right.
That looks good
When
for
you're
board weight,
up, the
that
guard isn't. Or
Yeah.
what? Yeah, same thing.
one in the middle
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Mike Farbelow thought that was bullshit, though.
Well, Mike.
No, he didn't.
Mike is Mike. If he could get all 16 rocks in the 4-foot, he would.
He was fun to commentate with.
I bet.
I've never really talked to him before, but I just wanted to get him on the mic.
Jordan!
He's one of the kindest, nicest guys
Jordan!
you'll ever meet. in the
All
game
right,
of curling.
Jordan, go!
It's a beautiful shot by Mr. Workin. Kid is playing very well. I think his confidence level is just through the roof at this, and he's going into Worlds with in a great space. Don't be surprised if they're on the medal
You almost brought
podium somewhere at the Mixed Worlds.
nice Steven, Jordan.
I was a hair out and up.
지금 인턴
Was
던져.
that out or just up?
감이 있네.
Okay.
지금 계속.
He thought he threw that a little heavy. He said, was I out or up?
체크해봐야겠지.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. I think it was about perfect, actually. So whatever weight he meant to throw, he threw the right weight instead.
Keep up, Tina. Good job, guys.
It was pretty fun this morning. This morning's draw, we did not commentate, although I did mic every once in a while. I couldn't get. I had a park on over by Fratelloni's Hardware on Grand and Dale because I couldn't figure out how to get across the marathon route.
Oh.
And I ended up hiking all the way up here. Parked in a 2-hour spot. I'm sure I got I'll get a parking ticket. So when we got here, there were a couple curlers that were running in, into the lot to get here.
It's every year that marathon,
They just don't care about us.
that thing screws up traffic like you would not believe in St. Paul.
It goes right by my house.
Does it?
Yeah.
Looks good. Line's great.
In fact, that marathon, I used to throw a really
Take a look.
a traditional Oktoberfest party, and
Right.
I wanted to make
Nice
sure
rock.
that people
Line's
were
good.
drinking beer from like
Whoa.
10 until it was done at 2.
We're
So
good.
I
Should be
was
right
the guy that was making sure everybody was drinking, filling them up, and
Right.
and I would drink from 10 to 2.
Right.
And then that marathon, I was on a Saturday, that marathon comes through Sunday morning at like 7 a.m. right by, I'm on Minnehaha Parkway,
Yeah.
right by all those cowbells going.
And you got a headache.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
God.
So the marathon is tomorrow, but
Yeah, there's some
they've jacked everything.
there's
up
some
there.
other thing that it's like a mini marathon
Yeah.
or walking marathon.
Do you run?
끝까지 와.
only from bears.
Right.
계속 와줘.
Or to the boat.
Yeah.
With a
그러니까
fish or
살려줘.
bite.
계속.
Yeah.
I run to the
살아야
boat.
돼.
But no, I
cheddar
like
cheddar
those bumper stickers that people have on their car. You know,
좀만 더 오자.
you see them like 13.1 or
좀 따뜻하게
26.2.
들어오네.
Yeah.
The guy that has the 0.0,
I've never seen that one.
that's mine. I don't have one, but that's what I would put if I were going to do that.
Have you ever done any, I don't know why I thought of this. It was the running to the boat thing you said.
Yeah.
Have you ever fished for bass? Do you like bass fishing?
I don't. On a very rare occasion, I've fished directly for bass.
So this summer, I've started
Gotta move. Jordan's rock.
fishing for bass because
Jordan's
they have
rock.
this big bass fishing tournament up at the lake
We're up.
in the summer at the end of July, and it's fun. I watch them weigh in. I'm like, oh, I want to do
Close,
that.
Jordan.
Right.
Yep. Go, Jordan.
rainy?
Yep. Gotta go,
What?
guys.
On
Yep.
rainy, yeah.
Go.
Center, take it to
And
center.
I
go,
try
go,
to
go,
learn
go,
how
go.
to do it.
Come on.
And so I heard this tip
There you go.
at the marina. The guy says, oh, you should try surface plugs at dark, at midnight, or like when it's dark. So my buddy Sean and I this summer went out at 10 o'clock, and we were fishing for bass on a reef, and I caught a nice 4-pounder.
Whoa.
Huge fish, probably the biggest bass I've ever caught.
That's nice.
But it was all rocky, and I kept on backing up into rocks because I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Oh,
But midnight fishing, and it was surface lures, and they would like attack on the water. It was really exciting.
Could you see him coming up out of the water?
Sorta. It was
Sorta.
like dark.
You could hear him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
너무.
That sounds like a really fun time. You know what I'd really like to try doing too is that night bow fishing, where you shoot carp.
Oh, yeah,
with
I've
a
heard about
bow and
it.
arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be super fun to try.
Like
sometime.
another guy there?
Is there curling going on?
I hear that's
Want that
true,
same?
yeah.
Oh, I gotta go this way.
The working rink
Want
is.
that same turn?
Boy, Christine has set this end up fantastically for the working rink. The Kim rink did throw a corner
Kinda like
guard,
this
as you
side
can
better,
see,
eh?
and then came under
Kind of like this side better.
to the center of the ice. And Mr. Workin's going to put another one, hopefully right on top of his shot rock, just behind the tee line. This is Jordan Brown. Jordan's a local guy, originally from North Dakota, but lives down here now. Here it comes.
Top 8.
Very nice,
Oh.
smooth
Well,
delivery
that
out of
means
Jordan.
close.
He's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
fella, if you guys don't know. Jordan is probably about 6'3" and a svelte 240 or 250.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Guy can sweep a rock like nobody's business. He's come up a little light here, but the second guard is just fine. Mr. Kim's going to decide on either opening this baby up or drawing under again. I think he's going to make a smart decision and try to open it up,
4-0. 95 would have been good.
since he does have one in the 4-foot. Keep that front open, right, for new curlers out there that wonder about strategy and they're watching these guys play. Very basic strategy calls that if you're stealing,
Whoa.
trying to steal in an end, you want to junk the front up, just as the working rink has done here with a couple guards above the house on the center line. And if you are the possessor of the hammer with the last rock of the end, you want to try and keep that middle open for your skip to make a draw or two. So typically on a curling team, your lead is a fine drawer of the stone.
Probably close.
Your second is a quality hitter of stones, so they can open things up. However, now with the 5 rock rule, it's taking 1 rock out of their hand.
4.
The seconds. The third can do both, and the skip can do
Gotta
both.
cross the center.
Yeah, I've heard that the second's going to have to do both.
Wait.
Yeah, well, and they always have, but typically that's if you got a confident hitter,
Close.
typically they're your second.
Close.
Statistically, I thought I read somewhere
Oh.
that's besides the skip, the most statistically important player on the team, as far as like rocks, is the lead.
Well, yeah, I probably wouldn't argue there. New curlers, again, I refer to newer curlers a lot because I'm at the Chaska Club, and there's still 3-year curlers now, which is amazing to me. It's gone that fast, but and they're getting so much better. It's incredible. But you know, typically new curlers, I don't want to play lead. My rocks don't matter. You know, I want to be the third or the skip or something, and that's all fine and dandy until you really understand the game and just how important that lead position is.
That's why I only play lead and skip.
But you're a fine drawer of the rock.
I am actually. Yeah. I learned some things about that. I learned early on that, like, since I'm a newer curler, 5 years now, so I had a click on the box. I'm no longer a new curler.
Ooh, when you registered?
Yeah, I felt pretty proud about that. But I just practiced draws because I was like, if I can draw, I can make a difference.
That's true.
I mean, when I was practicing, I now practice hits, but at first I just practiced draws, and that has served me well.
And if you can't draw, you can't skip.
Go, Jordan.
Me and Dexter talked about that yesterday, didn't we?
Oh, no, gotta move.
Do you know Dan Middlecamp?
Yeah, I do.
Go, Jordan.
So I'm on his team
Go, guys.
on Sundays, and I started there 4 years ago.
Go. All right, go.
And he did a.
Oh,
he just emailed the sub list looking for people, and so I joined his team, and never knew. He's a really quiet guy, particularly on the ice. He doesn't like a lot of input especially when he's about to shoot. So I get out there, never met him before. We play the game very first end. He comes down. He has to do a draw to like the 4 foot. Yeah. Just before he goes, I go, you know what Dex says? If you can't draw to the 4 foot, you can't skip. And he just looked at me with this ice in his eyes, like. It took me about 1.5 years to get over that relationship blunder.
That's great. Mr. Workin keeps replacing the guard on the center line. And the Kim rink keeps removing it. This is where competitive curling gets extraordinarily boring.
Not with the 5 rock rule now, though.
Well, true. The 5 rock rule will make things a little more interesting. And we did learn yesterday that you said that in Canada you can't tick a rock off the center line.
That's not true.
We found out, didn't we?
That's just in that Elite 10.
Jordan.
That's what we found out. It was just like one tournament.
One spiel, yeah.
You're gonna have to go, Jordan. Gotta go.
So what did you do last night? You said you were hungover this morning.
I'm not.
Whoa, close. Yep. Go. Whoa.
Went out with Scott and Linda Clausen.
Nice.
For a fine dinner at Brunson's on Payne Avenue on the east side of St. Paul, which has changed quite a bit. East side is known as a pretty rough and tough neighborhood. It still is, but there's some really cool restaurants over there now. Popping up in old establishments, old bars. This used to be Schweitz's bar. Now it's called Brunson's, and they had a really flavorful meal, delicious. Delicious meal and a couple cocktails.
If I weren't so firmly stuck in my house, it'd be fun to live in St. Paul. Seems like there's a lot of culture, fun places to go.
I moved from St. Paul down to Chaska. That's what I miss most about the city is the restaurants, to be honest with you. There's such great restaurants here in St. Paul. And Chaska is working on it slowly. But yeah, I don't miss the traffic.
Yeah, and I bet that you're being at Chaska, you probably really prefer that reverse osmosis water. That probably is the thing that you most enjoy there. The ice cubes are better. They don't have bubbles in them.
They don't what?
Have bubbles in the ice cubes.
Well, yeah, I don't make ice cubes with my RO water. But the city water down there is highly mineralized. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Like a hair less ice.
It's what is that hard?
Very extraordinarily hard with a lot of dissolved solids in it.
Does it corrode like any copper pipes? And
no, it rusts a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a softener, and you're using your softener often. It's recharging all the time, and go through a lot of salt down there, which.
We've seen the same 2 shots here left and right for the last 6 rocks.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, that's why I've gone away from talking about the game.
Oh,
But
that's
they've
all right.
thrown,
Oh,
they've
Tina's
all
out.
thrown, they've executed
Really
their
coming
guards,
over
they've
now.
executed their
Whoa.
peels
All by
very
Whoa,
well.
whoa, 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 really coming over.
We're down to Skip's rocks.
Whoa,
He's
whoa,
got
whoa, whoa.
nice
Sit.
weight, but you can't sweep that rock. It'll over curl if it does, and he's going to leave a staggered guard, which is going to be just fine.
Jeez.
Did get a little deep. He's got an opportunity to make a double over the top of
어차피
his
이래
own.
쳐가지고는 못 살릴 것 같은데.
네.
아. 다
Needs to
날려-
hit
다
that
날려-
thing
다
at
날려.
about 11 o'clock from our side.
저기 저 최단 여기가
10:30.
속도 나겠다. 이쪽으로.
근데 짠날까 봐. 일로 볼게요.
아.
So yeah, then we went to the VFW last night in Roseville
밖에서 봐야 돼.
and listened to some karaoke singers.
That's the kind of Clausen town, isn't it? Roseville. Doesn't Brad live there?
Yeah.
They all went
Peggy,
to
I
high
think, is
school.
up there. Chris is in Stillwater, but
안 빼. 일단 열자.
yeah,
이번에는 살짝.
yeah, most of them are around there. They all grew up there, raised in that area. Here we are with Korean skip Soo Hook Kim
가 계속 가.
with his first skip rock in the second end of a 2-0 game. Tried to run back a double, but got a little tight on it and rolled out, which is just fine.
What do you want? We force one or go
Yeah,
for
he
the steal?
didn't. He didn't. I guess I would call that pro side, right? Didn't
My
mess it
lovely
up.
wife Joanne just
Whatever
came
you
and
want to do.
gave me a nice back rub. Thank you, sweetheart.
Oh, you know what?
She's here volunteering.
Yeah.
I don't really know her.
Yeah.
But she came up like this morning, I think, or I don't know, whenever she.
The
And she was
only
like,
way they
"Hey,
can
how
score
is it?"
too.
And then I had this headset on, but I wasn't actually.
You don't want to force the one?
I was like, "Oh, I kind of recognize."
Force
that
one, we got
person.
Hammer.
It's my gal.
I'm all about that.
She drove up.
That surprises me, actually. I mean, knowing you,
What?
and then
Even
the
if
little
you
I've
get a little
interacted with her,
separation.
That
you guys are together.
I mean, force the
Everybody
one
says
here.
that. I outkicked my coverage.
Yeah,
I was
Just have to
told
Make sure we stick around.
actually years ago.
Right?
So
I don't
didn't-
think that-
they're deciding here on forcing one or
I mean, we
going
can't
for the
roll out.
steal.
That's the only thing.
No, I know. It'd be nice to be buried under this guy.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's wide open.
So, could you go into a little detail?
I think
Forcing
forcing one here is really good.
would be what call?
Well, he's going to hit that red rock
We gotta
out
hammer them, make
and
it
stick
force
around in that 8 foot somewhere
I guess it's a horse piece.
and force them to only score 1 point. So
By
so
taking
he'll
out the rock.
right. He wants to
You guys
leave
wanna go
his
for
he needs to leave
Hey,
his
Grace,
shooter
let's
in
just
the
throw the
house.
guard.
So he's sitting 2.
What?
Just throw the guard.
Oh, now he's changed his mind and he's going to throw the guard
And so then this one is to
steal.
steal.
Yeah, if he hit that red rock out, stayed in the house, the Kim rink would probably hit the rock, the yellow rock in the
double
4
there?
foot there.
Is
That's
that double
shot.
there off the red?
And
Oh,
score
never
1.
mind.
They
킬 말렸어.
could
on
attempt to
last
make a
time.
double and roll out themselves to blank the end, which would be very risky to give up a steal. I like this call, to be honest with you. I think this team could play ultra aggressive, being the position they're in and being a mixed team in the men's side of things. No reason not to play ultra
Tina's
aggressive.
rock! Over and off!
A little tight.
Yep!
Over
Gotta go, guys!
Christina's
Gotta
right.
go! Hard!
Uh-oh.
Hard!
He could have used about
whoa,
6 more
whoa.
feet. He's going to leave a high guard, which is going to easily allow them to come around it, bump that yellow rock
Only
back,
spot we couldn't leave it.
and he's going to give 2.
That's why I don't want to do that. God damn it.
Yep, and he's cussing.
It's a quarter. 25 cents.
That's the only way they scored.
Yeah, I know.
It's a good thing. Mr. Workin is not mic'd up, but we can hear everything he's saying.
No, he's mic'd up.
Oh, he is mic'd
Oh
up?
yeah, I've got both the skip and the vice. I can turn them off if you want.
No. I love that guy. He's fantastic. I like his fire. He's got a lot of fire in his belly, and I like that about guys. This it's right on the broom. Looks like a fine line. Is the weight right? Appears to be. Here it comes. They're sweeping it on that turn side to drag it across, and it's a beautiful shot. Very nice shot. And we got a tie game.
Don't talk
That
me
was
out
a
of
beautiful
again.
shot. It came right across
right.
the center line,
Force the
popped
one.
that rock out. So let me just go quickly through what teams are playing. I think people can get the update with the streamer down below about the scores, but
Like, I mean, that's the only way
on
they
sheet
score
1
two.
we have Burr versus Slusser.
I mean, even
Sheet
if he
2 is Stapera versus Sinnott.
보내줬죠, 이거는.
Sheet 3 is Flannery versus Traxler.
you can easily
Sheet 4 is Duberstein versus Kitchens. You can see Mar and Barrett sitting down there on the post.
Yeah. I'm always disappointed when I don't see the big bow in her hair. When she was young, she used to always have a big bow in her hair.
Yeah, I haven't quite, I keep on thinking I want to ask her about, like when she wakes up in the morning, does her hair just have that much body, or does she have to work at that?
I think it's naturally curly like that.
That's incredible.
Yeah, she's always had that type. Her, you know, when she was young, it was very poofy, a lot of body to it, and her bow, and it was just always fantastic.
And then on sheet 6, we have Brundage versus Markey, who
Mayer.
last night was complaining about how close the hacks were. He couldn't get enough power because the hacks were too short.
Was he talking about that a little bit?
다섯.
Yeah, and then afterwards I went up to him. I'm like, we're not rebuilding the club for you.
No, not tonight.
라이 조금 넉넉하다.
And then I thought afterwards that was probably rude of me.
다섯.
But he was
다섯이
gone, so I
좋아.
couldn't apologize.
Yeah, it's all right.
3.
You get used to it. It is different here. The hacks are very, very tight to the back walls,
이쪽 라인이
and the bumpers probably only a couple of feet. So some guys actually use that to their advantage when they're throwing hits because you can actually push off
Yeah, I
with
was
your
wondering.
slide foot
I couldn't.
from that back wall.
I'm only
and-
5'6", you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're
toss.
probably a pretty good
Oh,
curler.
little up, eh?
Usually when I'm curling in a bond spiel and I run into guys that are like 5'6", 5'7", 5'8",
3, 4.
Whoa,
all four guys that are like that
whoa,
height,
Really going sideways.
I'm shaking in my boots because they're going to be good curlers. You always,
Low center of gravity,
Yeah.
closer to the
and
ice.
you know they didn't play any basketball.
I did actually, until 2nd grade when they told my mom that this wasn't the thing for me. I was really short when I was a kid. Like I had a growth spurt, but
To get to 5'6".
they tested me for the Gary Coleman thing.
Yeah.
You know, with the kidneys, he had some kidney
Yeah,
disorder.
yeah.
I had all those tests
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Really?
Because they were wondering why I was so
와야
short.
돼.
Did they roid you up a little bit to get you to grow?
No. They did put me in a
라이
stretching
잡아,
device.
라이 잡아야 돼. 라이 잡으라고 계속. 라이
I never
잡아야
know when
돼.
you're serious or not.
Yeah, that's my
계속
charm.
와야 돼.
Okay. Well,
조금만 더 오자.
Mr. Workin on the third end has decided to throw a corner guard instead of come under the
글쎄.
Kim lead rock guard tight to the house.
Textbook.
Textbook draw with the second stone from Mr. Do-Young
Probably.
Lee. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
I have the YouTube stream going here, and I've got the chat window. So if anybody has any questions with
Sweet.
me, I'm sure you'll have some questions with me or
Hey, Rich rock.
Yeah.
Rich.
Mr. Belvich here.
Or just comments. We don't need questions.
Yeah,
Whoa,
like turn the
whoa,
volume
guys.
down.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
You don't know what the hell you're talking
Yeah.
about. Those kind of comments.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Christine with her second rock
Nice shot,
Oh,
Tina.
that's a beautiful.
ticks the back side of the guard and gives it a little bump in the forefoot. Very nice shot.
Okay.
Looks like we're going to get a bunch of rocks in play here into the house. This could be a very exciting, fun end. Unlike the last end where it was guard, peel, guard, peel, guard, peel.
Oh,
We got some other games going on. Someone on sheet 6, I believe it was the Jed Brundage rink, got a 6-banger in the first end
어디?
and is now up 6-1 playing the third,
라인 많아.
drawing into the
라인
house.
많아. 위에 세워야 돼.
There's something about that sheet 6. Yesterday we saw, thank you very much, my wife Joanne brought us a cup of water.
and she winked at me.
I really needed that water. That's great. Thank you. Yesterday we saw a 6-banger on sheet 6 in the Dale Gibbs game. And unfortunately, he was on the wrong side of that.
Got control.
Oh, that's refreshing. Jordan Brown sliding out. He uses a stabilizer.
Control.
He's got the big Asham stabilizer.
Big Asham stabilizer. And he puts it way out with his left arm dead straight out. He's throwing this a bit wide. He's going to make the shot, but probably a 50%er since he rolled out. You always know how Evan's feeling on the ice.
Yeah, you kind of were.
Body
It
language.
might be a little up too.
Verbalizing what's going on out there. He left the Fargo club as the ice maker. They now have a guy in there, kind of a newbie, I believe. Interesting year in Fargo. Have we located the red number 4 rock that Farbs was saying was running straight? I think it's down the sheet somewhere now. I haven't noticed any red rock staying real straight, have you?
No, but I didn't really notice it yesterday either, so. He noticed it in the very first end, and then he said, he kept on going back to it, and he said, I want to be on record saying,
really?
You are, I said.
Okay.
Yeah! Right to it!
Mike's been around curling his whole life, his whole family.
Yeah, real tight here.
And he's gonna peel that guard out.
Yeah, there's another 25 cents.
There's 50 cents because that was the Effenheimer there.
Yeah, if you combine it with Christ, does that add?
I think that's 75 cents.
Yeah, he owes us $1. I'll just put it out.
What did he say?
He owes us $0.25.
Yeah. The Kim Rink is looking to run this yellow rock out of the house and sit right on top of their second shot rock, just to the left of it from our angle. He's a little tight here. They're holding it out quite nice though with their sweeping. Oh, it turned out to be a peach. Well, he actually rolled a little too far off. Could have let that curl up a little bit more and just stacked it right on top of his other two. Now he's left a pretty simple double for.
What sort of weight do you think you'd have to throw for that? Like if you were calling the shot that he did?
You could probably get it over here.
Well, you could have. You can throw a lot of different weights at that one. You know, to make sure you hold the line.
The previous one.
Right. Yeah. The previous one you could. You got to make sure you're holding the line, so you need to throw about normal to control weight, so your sweepers can handle it a little.
It seemed like a gentle takeout to me.
Yeah.
But it was real straight. Maybe it was the 4.
It did stay in the house, so not too bad. Rachel has made a beautiful double here. It was pretty well set up for him. What we thought, or I thought, because I don't really know what I'm talking about, was going to be a big end with lots of rocks in the house has completely changed.
Yep. Does that red rock that's hanging on their right, our left, does that
frighten them?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, but it's going to look like a possible force. We're into thirds rocks here in the third end, and it'll look like a possible force of 1 that Evan might have to make. He can roll this under his corner guard that he set up with the very first stone in the end, so it could come into play. Even if he hits it and rolls to the other side and sits shot locked on that red rock, that wouldn't be bad either, but I like this call to roll all the way to the out-turn side of the sheet. Here comes Rachel.
Hard, Christina, hard!
Have to go the other way now.
Really hard!
Really hard! Gotta go
hard!
It could make a double here, and it does. So she missed it on the wrong side, but makes the double. Not the end of the world. Now we're looking at a blank end, probably.
Yeah, they're my third favorite end.
Hey, should we? We should get the ends game going. You know how to play ends?
Oh, yeah. With the deck of cards?
Yeah.
Let me go get a deck.
Get some gambling going around here.
Well, we need an assistant for that.
We do need an assistant.
You know, I'll go ask Carrie. She said that she had given us an assistant. I don't know if she has one now, but I could go tell her.
Yeah, I don't know if we go get 10 people involved, though. It's pretty boring up here right now.
All right, well then let's not do it.
Let's not do it. If it were the evening time when guys are getting bounced out of the Bonspiel,
Yeah.
that's a great time to play ends.
You know what we could do is we could just do it each end. I'll pick one team, you pick another team, and we'll start with $20, and then double or nothing, and just keep on seeing how much.
Building it from there.
Yeah.
$20 an end.
Sure.
You make a lot more money than I do.
Well, mythical is what I'm thinking.
I'd go, like maybe $5 an end. For real.
Okay, $5 an end.
So what? You got to explain the bet though.
I don't know. You have to.
Like
I was just thinking that
if they get 2 or 1 or blank.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like so if you have the hammer, a 1 or less is a loss, right? 2 or more is a win.
Oh,
and
like
if your team doesn't have the hammer, then a steal or 1
or a force.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like skins game.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work, but
We could give it a try. Mr. Workin coming out looking to blank this third end in a 2-2 game on sheet 5 of the 2018 St. Paul Curling Club Cash Spiel. They got to sweep this baby. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't his last rock. He was looking to stick around there, I think, and maybe get lucky, but he did roll out, which is just fine.
what time do you have to get to work in the morning?
I typically, depending on what is happening in the club, I'm usually in there anytime between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning.
I said that to you.
That's reasonable.
Usually work till about 5:36, depending on league play that night. We start our leagues actually tomorrow, and then Monday, Tuesday don't play. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday play. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we have our first draw at 4:45, so I'll be out of there a little bit earlier, done with the ice and my day, right around that time. Mondays and Fridays we have 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock draws only 2 draws instead of 3. So I'm usually there a little later. Sundays we have 3 draws. Busy place for 6 Sheet Club. How about you? What time do you get to work in the morning?
I get to work at 9.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Banker's hours.
Yeah, and I work with banks, but it's because it's lined up with my kid's school. So I drop Ruby off, and then I go to work. I have to drop her off at 8:20. So, although I'm thinking about changing it and trying to get to work at 7, and then picking Ruby up at 4 from school because she hates riding the bus.
Why?
There's only like 3 kids that ride the bus at her school, and it takes her. We live like 15 minutes away, and it takes her an hour. She leaves at 4:30. She gets home at 5:30, and she's oftentimes the only kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mr. Workin's making a draw for 1. He didn't want to try to peel or blank the end on that fine draw by Soo-Hoo Kim. So he's got to get into the full 8
Gotta
foot.
go, guys. Come on. Gotta go.
And
Gotta go.
he's looking a little light, but they are keeping it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. And he's made the shot on some fine sweeping by his lead and second, Christine and Jordan.
That'll wake you up in the morning.
That will get the blood flowing. You know, you got to remember to breathe when you're pounding a rock all the way down the ice. People don't breathe. They hold their breath. They forget to breathe.
Then you get lightheaded. All right, so before they start, what team do you have? You could have Workin because you're a working man.
I'm a working man, yeah.
And I'll take...
but we switch that end to end?
No.
Oh, we're going to...
You've got it forever now.
Okay, all right.
And I'll take Kim.
All right.
Because I'm a Kim man.
I'm going to flash a couple of dollar bills at Evan as he comes down the ice to let him know we are now gambling. I didn't look up. Let him know we're gambling on the game. Maybe he'll, focus a little more. Yeah, step it up. Right.
I got my dollar out here. All right, so no, Kim has to score 2.
And Workin has to force him to 1 or steal.
Yep.
And I gotta go to I gotta get a cash machine. I kind of burned through some cash last night.
Yeah. Well, we'll just use dollar bills for now.
Well, those will represent bigger money in the end. Okay. Any comments? Like, is this legal to gamble on a WCT event?
It is actually. They run them on FanDuel. Have you ever seen FanDuel?
I've heard of FanDuel.
Yeah, they run
That's a 3. Come on.
cash spiels like this.
3's really nice. 3's really nice.
Fantasy
We're going sideways
curling.
here.
Yeah.
We need to switch.
Yeah. You know, you might be onto something there.
Yeah, I think Curling Zone had a fantasy curling thing for a while.
Did they?
But I think that
Not enough interest.
I think there was not enough interest in the guy that programmed it, which I think is that Gertz. I think he got moved on to bigger and better.
Kind of tough to do fantasy curling unless you just pick skips.
I think that's what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could play it like on percentages, right? Shooting percentages in games that are scored that way.
So he's trying to do the tick?
He's a tick shot artist.
No, he's not, because he's weird.
Oh, he's throwing a corner guard. It's going to be a fine corner guard. I don't know if Mr. Workin called for that high guard with the first rock and a 1-point lead. I would think, yeah, he must have. He's playing for a straight steal here, and he's my guy because I can make money if he steals.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to do it. I should have taken him because I know all that information about four.
Yeah. As we were talking about lead rocks earlier and how important lead rocks are.
Mine's really
And
nice.
I'm going to tell you
Rachel's
that
rock.
this Christine Lammers has
Really coming
been
across. Come on, guys,
spot
we need 3.
on in this game and it's just curled
Keep it 3. Keep it going.
fantastically.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
She
Come
has
on, go,
thrown
go, 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 go.
another guard
Yeah,
right
fair,
where
Tina.
he asked for it.
Yep.
Right where he asked for it. Couldn't be more than a couple of inches difference. And the Kim rink is now going to come under. Kind of the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah, the thing, though, is that now, like when you're down 1, like when you immediately lose the score, like you lose by 1, you get that 5th rock. I think that's going to change the game. Like I used to think it was just like if you're behind, but it's just whenever hammer team, you know, it's a big advantage.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come into play this end.
Think this
And
game
it's going to get this end.
this end?
I'd almost double my bet.
Wow.
Almost.
That's the number 2 red rock. That rock curled fantastic, Mike Farblow, if you're listening. We're going to be able to see when that red number 4 comes down.
I would bet that we're going to forget about it by the time the 4 comes around. And then we're going to have to do it the next end again.
And then we'll remember at the wrong time. I bet you're right. I don't know.
How much would you bet?
Well, I double my dollar that's sitting there.
Clean.
I say we forget.
Yep.
You mean the number 4 rock? We're going to forget.
I'm not going to forget now.
Mine's
though.
getting better. Gotta go, Tina.
Not if there's money involved.
Hard. Gotta go. Hard. Really
Jordan
gotta go.
drawing into the house, and he's a little tight. They're sweeping it well, but he's going to get a little tick, and it still is going to get a biter out of it as it rolls out and over.
Just getting it going, bud.
Evan's letting Jordan know he's just starting that rock out or getting it going, he said.
Okay.
That means he's turning it over a little too soon with his release, and it's moving and it's curling sooner than it should. Called either dumping. It's called dumping a rock, actually, if you really do it bad.
Dumping a rock?
Yeah, you turn it over, right? Instead of just that nice clean release and that rotation on the rock, your arm kind of moves across your body a little bit, and you start the rock so the rock actually moves. Instead of going down a dead straight line, it actually, when you turn it, you pull it over to the left.
They're talking about eye dominance. We have to listen in.
What did they say?
I don't know.
I was yakking too much.
No, I just eye dominance is always something. Left eye, right-handed left eye, I'm backwards.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's
You think this is the number 4 red rock? It's a little heavy. Gonna tick and roll into the open and leave a pair of pants. Oh, a pair of pants is available to the working rink with Steele in mind. He's got an easy W. You know what a pair of pants are? We talked about this last year, I think.
Yeah. Schuster calls that a crotch shot.
Well,
like up
yeah.
or just, yeah, we'll
That's
go
why
up.
we call it a pair of pants, because you just crotch it.
Because we're from the big city.
Yeah, big city. Yeah, he's from a medium city.
Yeah. Town.
Yeah. Well, it's a city. Duluth's a great place.
Yep. Yep. Hard.
Here comes the double out of Jordan Brown.
Hard.
Seems narrow to me,
Gonna
but I'm wrong.
gets by, but
Go,
he
Rach,
squeaked
go,
through there
Go,
on a
go,
narrow
go, go,
shot,
go.
and he's not gonna quite make the double. We're gonna get something out of Workin here. Is he gonna Effenheimer that one? He's not happy with his seconds
getting it
play
out there.
right now. But you know, I don't think you want to get too angry at Jordan Brown, because he'll just pop your head like a pimple.
Not enough. Not enough.
Yeah, I think actually when I was miking up the team, we talked about wrestling.
Yeah, he is a gentle giant. You're absolutely right. He's a very kind guy. I'd want him in my corner though.
When I grew up on the border of Canada, and my favorite show was The Friendly Giant.
Is it a Canadian?
It's a kid's show in the 70s.
So it's a kid show. Friendly Giant.
Friendly Giant. And I've looked it up on YouTube. It's really bad.
Is it?
I mean, quality.
Was it a animated show?
No. It was like acted out by people,
Yeah.
and the giant lived in a tree.
Was Andre the Giant?
No.
No, he wasn't.
It's sticking out a little bit.
Go taps, okay.
Yeah.
Add that over a little bit.
Don't you mind that.
Where's
That's
it
the
number
4.
4? Damn, where is it?
That's the number
That is
4.
the number 4. It curled just fine.
No, it didn't come over enough.
Well, it still curled 4 feet from where he was holding the broom, I think. Maybe it didn't. Dang it.
We did forget too.
Well, we kind of forgot.
Yeah, I think that's
a push.
$1.
That was a push.
Back.
We didn't forget because we looked at it at the end.
Way out.
Oh,
Way out here.
Rachel's got this rock way,
We're like
way
going by
out.
it.
And she has missed everything, I'm afraid.
He didn't have a chance. He was way the hell up there.
Yeah,
That's a nickel charge there.
that
Hell.
is a bad miss. She stayed in the back. She threw backline weight, which I think is what he wanted. She just got it way too far out.
이쪽은 별로야.
상관없을 것 같아요.
He doesn't say anything negative about his wife. You ever notice that?
That's because she's playing third. If she were playing front end, he would, because there's an interaction required.
Okay. He's a smart guy.
I like playing with sometimes couples when I sub in. Like Dennis and Meg, I'll sub in, and they're fun.
Yeah.
And Chuck and Karen.
Have you ever played with the Bickersons?
Both of those last two would be considered the Bickersons. But
Dale
I don't
and
know.
Cindy?
I don't know who those.
Dale and Cindy Bickerson
No.
when they're curling?
Do they bicker?
Yeah, they're the funnest people ever when they're off the ice, but when they're on the ice together, they're known as the Bickersons. I think we talked about that last year too. Maybe. This rock's going to get behind the tee line, which is not real good for them. He's left a little pocket for the working rink to draw to. Rachel has got to make a shot here. He could come the other way.
We can go right here. It's really nice.
Could come the other way and probably make a, maybe not make a double, but at least push those two red rocks into the 12-foot for sure. But he is stealing. He's got a pocket, and I'm hoping Rachel makes a shot. You know why?
Because of the bet.
That's right.
What?
I hope she makes. I hope she makes the shot
Whoa!
because
Whoa! 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 Wait
nice.
only! Whoa!
Just because?
Whoa!
because she seems nice.
Gotta
She
wait!
is nice.
Whoa!
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. This looks like perfect line. Just bump that back. And she hit and shot. That's a beauty. Bumping that rock back behind the tee line was perfect.
Nice judge.
I'm not sure they can get to it from the in-turn side coming this way.
Nothing like a missed shot.
And if they try to come at it from the out-turn side, they're just going to jam it.
I was like, we can tap it. And then I gave you.
But I should know what.
I gave you.
So they are in fine shape. That number 5 Red Rock that got behind the tee line on that last draw really hurt the Kim rink. If that would have been sitting top 4, they would have been looking at 2 for sure. Now they got to clear out the front.
Yeah, this is not looking good for me, I must say.
Well, if they make a double peel here, they're going to be in great shape for Skips Rocks. Go back to that basic strategy that we were talking about a little bit ago. That works out.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's a quarter. It's about $3.75 so far. He's the record holder.
I'm going to mute my my mic for just a moment and clear my throat.
The whole point of muting is so that the listening audience doesn't know what you're doing. If you pre-announce that I'm muting, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's 2-3, not a 1.
I think there's genuine interest. People want to know kind of what you're doing. And I'm a very transparent individual. I believe in transparency. I think it's good for everybody.
You know what I believe?
And it requires honesty.
Yeah, I believe that the children are our future.
How does that song go?
I
believe children are our future. Should we sing it like Bob Dylan?
And help them understand.
We're really
I believe that children are our future.
hit that.
Whoa, yeah, go then.
Yep, Brennan.
Yeah, we take requests here on the chat stream.
His guard is in almost the exact same spot it was in this end in the second.
So I believe that they can get this shot because they've got rid of the 4, so they'll get plenty of curl.
So much
Right.
less weight.
Farbs, if you're listening, you heard it here first. This is a.
So slow.
He's gonna throw really. I think he just wants to throw back line just through the house weight. Because he's got to get to the inside of that yellow rock, obviously. If he doesn't, he's just going to jam it. But he is in a position here to possibly get 3 with a really good shot.
Well, look at on sheet 6.
That game is over.
Brundage versus Merricky, yeah.
I'm kind of surprised they got him for 6. I wonder what happened in that end.
Probably had to do with the hack.
Dominic Myarki is a fine curler. He's had some really bad luck to give up 6. Here it comes, and it's staying out there. They're trying to drag it across the face. They're not going to be able to do it, and the yellow rock is sitting shot still. But he is in a little bit of a tricky problem here because red has got a bunch of flobs hanging around.
Still us, right?
Oh, yeah. It looks. If you look at the overhead, red might be.
No, it's yellow.
All right.
They got to open draw this
Scott
way.
says yellow, so
That's all that matters.
it looks like yellow from here, but
we gotta leave him something. I think
It does look a little closer in the overhead, you're right. But I think Evan agrees with me that it's yellow.
Not even. Even a 2's fine again.
Yeah,
Cover the
who do you trust?
Yeah.
I trust myself.
I think it's that same ice. I think I just said it.
Believe, my dad always told me, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Your dad told you that,
Yeah.
So you heard that.
Yeah, he also
So
told
did you trust what he said?
half of what he said
Just
Oh.
here.
I thought it was half of what you see.
Okay.
and none of what you hear.
Look like it's
But I
slowed up a
trusted
little
half
bit.
of what my dad said.
I need to make sure I.
He also said wear your hat in the direction you want your life to go, which means, properly, not backwards. For all you young bucks out there that think it's cool to wear your hat backwards,
I don't really like wearing hats.
I think you look foolish. I think you look like the guys that have the saggy pants and their underwear hanging out.
Mine's great.
Here comes the guard,
All by itself.
Oh, Tina's rock.
Mr.
All
Workin.
by itself.
Tina's rock.
We're over curling already. Just leave it.
He's got it out there to cover this hole, and they can't touch it. So here it comes.
Wait, leave it.
Boy.
Come on!
Well, he needs a little more rotation on that rock.
Damn it!
He's upset because that rock overcurled,
Way out there
and
that time. It still goes all the way back.
375.
해거에서 2점으로 나와야 될 것
he
같아.
needs more rotation on his rock. That rock had barely 2 rotations on it, and when it's a guard and coming into that soft finish and it's not rotating very well, it is going to go sideways. Oh, hold on, I got to mute myself
너무 기다리면
because the
걸려.
guy has a question for me. Kyle Bolton.
All right.
He works here at the St. Paul Curling Club. Kyle does, and he blows a mean horn.
We never have our broom.
What kind of horn?
I don't know, what kind of horn do you play? Trumpet?
Oh,
He plays a trumpet.
I used to play the
이거
euphonium,
배
The what?
올려서 반 이상 맞아야 된다.
baritone, and trumpet, but I started, you know.
Do you know what a luthier does?
Yeah, he makes guitars, or she,
Yep.
or is it violins?
Violins.
Violins.
Dan Arlick is a luthier.
Oh, well, my daughter plays. Maybe he could make a violin shaped like a curling stone.
He could. That's what he does for a living. Cellos,
If he does it,
violins,
I'd buy it.
violas.
$300.
They miss the shot, and Evan Workin gets away with a steal, but they might measure. I think they've decided it is Yellow Rock. They decided they're not going to measure. I win the money. Hold on, I'm muting. Sorry.
He didn't actually mute, eh?
아, 처음부터 계속 닦았어야 되는데. 놓자마자 계속 걸
Put that guard in a perfect spot.
Oh, mother trucker.
Oh, look at that. We got a little, I think she said Mother Tucker, though.
Pop it all so it really knows that. The second one was a decent.
She's friends with Mother Hubbard,
I
I
was
think.
like, oh my god! I said, I'm like, really nice and out there,
Yeah.
and then it just went.
We have to know that we can just take more ice and then finish hard.
I thought I had more rotations on that second. I thought everything was better. I think we gotta. I think on just on those they're diving like that. Just have your broom, like your broom.
You didn't actually mute it.
They're talking about that rock and overcurling it.
Yeah, you
what they're
missed
not saying is he needs more rotation on
You
the
missed,
rock.
a Mother Tucker.
Ooh.
Yeah, by Rachel.
Ooh, by Rachel?
Yeah.
It's kind of sexy when a woman swears like that, if you ask me.
Yeah. Although, if your significant other calls you that, you know, or says that to you, that means that she's saying you've got mommy issues or something.
Ooh.
So, do you think if I
I don't
flash
wanna
this
think-
dollar to the Kim rink, they'll know that I'm betting on them?
I don't know. The other teammates are right behind us, so you could let these guys know. You could let them know. They don't seem amused.
Really
All of them.
tight.
Dad, 4-5.
Really tight. Really tight. Rach, you gotta go early.
It's hot.
Yeah, we don't want to go.
Christine looking to draw into the house. Evan's calling that it's tight and it's going to overcurl, but she's got really nice rotation on the rock,
Girl.
and she's going to be into the 4 foot.
Whoa, we're good. We're good.
So the now for the second end here that we're betting,
Yeah.
is it just $1? I mean, are we doing the? I said something about double or nothing. Are we going to do double or nothing?
Well, I got $2 sitting there, so,
So it would be double or
if
nothing.
you want to do that, we can.
But then the next time we might need to figure that out. If you win this time, you
Well,
put
if
another
it,
dollar.
maybe if we clear a double or
알겠잖아.
nothing,
wait till my
which we
set.
would, then we go back to the buck. So it's just $1 or $2
Set,
each.
set.
Oh.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter this end.
Okay.
set까지
I'm
와줘.
gonna have
Yeah.
a little sip of coffee.
아,
I'm
좀
gonna go
멀다.
get
Oh,
a
there's
donut.
some.
Jordan brought us donuts. Would you like me to get you a donut?
Sure.
Alrighty.
How many people are watching? Oh, he doesn't have his, how many? 40? 40 people. Not bad for a Saturday morning.
Little tight.
Probably all
Little
friends
in
and
again.
family of these fine curlers.
We're gonna cry. If we're in, we gotta be over here then.
It's coming down.
Sit.
4.
Whoa.
Well, I'm on my own now. So I'll set up this end a little bit that you 40 people are watching. And we got this one over curling a little bit. Christine has thrown some very nice shots throughout this game. The Workin rink is up 4-2 after 4 with a steal in the fourth. A fortunate steal on a miss by skip Soo Kim of the Korean team. He's going to throw another corner guard up here. Seems how they didn't really put the guard on the center line, and the shot rock is exposed. I like this call. He's going to have an opportunity on both sides of the sheet by the end of this end to use one of these corner guards, probably with this new 5-rock rule. We're about to play the 5th rock, and those 2 guards cannot be removed yet. With the old 4-rock rule, they could remove one of those guards at this point, but now they cannot. So it offers them 2 corner guards on each side, but without being able to peel them out. And here's the aggressive nature to that 5-rock rule. Oh, those donuts look fantastic.
3, 4.
Sure. We're 4, we're gonna be here. Oh, Tina's rock.
I'm gonna grab this one because it's got a little
Go, Tina.
frosting from the other donut on it. Excuse me for a moment. You got control of this for what? While I nosh.
Yeah, I'll mute you for a while, and I'll talk about you. Yesterday, Mr. Murray said the one thing that he really hates about Minnesotans is that they only eat half a donuts. They'll cut out a donut in half.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so I made sure to get us 3 donuts.
Whoa! Yep! 와야 돼!
Yep.
약하다.
Yep, Bev.
Do all Minnesotans eat half donuts?
I don't know. I told him, I said, sometimes at work we get a big box of donuts, and it'll be like 12 different donuts, and you don't want to eat a whole donut, or you don't want to eat like 3 donuts. So you'll cut them, and you'll have little pieces of
You're
donuts.
like up here.
And different flavors.
Yeah. And I also told him my favorite way to eat donuts is powdered donuts, like those cheap cake powdered donuts.
Yeah.
Cut them in slices
Either or in
with
here.
butter.
Ooh.
I haven't done that probably for 10, 15 years, but as a kid I did that, and oh, so good.
Does that explain a few things?
I do have, no. I really want to eat this one, but I feel like I'm going to get it all over myself.
Well, that's part of the goodness of eating donuts, so.
7, 6, 7.
Whoa, let her move.
Should I
We're
save
hanging.
dirty jokes for later?
We're hanging way up.
No, I think we should get into the dirty jokes. I've got a
We gotta
couple
come
of
back.
really dirty ones.
Really out there. Yep, go.
I read this
go.
joke this morning, and I'm going to probably I have
Tina's
to
rocking.
say jokes
Go,
like
go, go,
4 or
go.
5
Go, go, go,
times.
go.
Like
Keep going,
I have a
keep
joke that I'm working on that's not dirty.
Yeah.
That I've told a bunch of times, and I never get a laugh. And I think it's funny to myself, and I keep on working on it, so I'll try it
It's
on.
in your
I don't
delivery.
know, man. It didn't
Yeah,
look
I
bad.
think this one I've worked on the delivery,
Great.
and I think that it has more to do with the joke itself.
Okay.
I mean,
Are you going to say it? Tell it now, or are you going to wait?
hair up, but
After the end?
you're fine.
I'll do it after the end. I got to eat this
It's on
donut.
the wrong
The
side.
working rink is set up for a steal, but they got a pair of pants sitting in the forefoot, and the Mr. Lee of the Korean rink is looking to
와야 돼. 두꺼워.
remove those.
두꺼워.
And he's just not going to quite do it, and it looks like that yellow rock is still sitting shot. It's hard to tell from here. We don't have the overhead.
I don't know.
Uh,
Kind of like the run.
they must be sitting shot. I do believe he's throwing a big fat guard up there. Yeah, for sure the yellow rock is sitting shot. Thank you for switching
Leaving
that
him
over.
that then. That's fine.
That's fine. We can force
Be
one.
high enough up.
This is going to be an interesting finish. We're into thirds rocks here now. Mrs. Workin about to deliver her stone.
Light.
This donut is delicious, although I thought it was going to be filled with something, but it's not.
It might
Line's
still
good.
be.
Line's good.
You
Whoa,
haven't gotten
clean.
far enough into
Tina's
it.
rock. Really coming over.
Oh, seasoned
Really
veteran.
coming over. Tina's rock. Yep. Come on, guys. Gotta go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
They got
Whoa,
nice
whoa,
high
whoa,
guard
whoa.
here. She's throwing a
Holy
fine
cow.
shot.
Man, they're diving.
I was real light. I didn't finish.
Oh, okay.
Rocks are really moving at the end here. We're getting later into this game, and we might be losing a little bit of pebble. And rocks are really moving on this sheet. Not sure if we're seeing the same thing on other sheets. The dehumidifier went out last night here. So this morning there was quite a bit of frost on the ice. And that's not good for curling ice. That could flatten things out pretty quickly. But Mr. Zbotnik did get that baby fired back up this morning.
Did it, was it because someone needed to empty the my dehumidifier? I got to empty it every once in a while.
Yeah, well, don't you just have one of those tubes? Isn't it auto drip?
I have two. I have one that does that, and then I have the other one.
Yeah.
I'm the only one in my house that cares about that.
Yeah, I'm the only one that cares about softener in my house.
Yeah. What's the problem in your house?
Yeah. You get those 50-pound bags, though. They're pretty heavy.
Yup!
She has a tough
Gotta
time.
go!
Hey,
All the way!
you're about
Gotta go,
halfway
Jordan.
into your
All right.
donut. What do you
All right,
got?
gotta go!
No filling. Bummer.
Get fuck out.
Uh-oh.
Don't miss fucking wide.
Okay, well, that's about $3 right there.
That's about $3 out of Evan. What do we? I think we're up to about $6.50. Pitch your beer out of
As
that
long
guy.
as it covers my bet with you, I'm okay.
Only way to miss that.
Inside, yeah.
Only way to miss that. That was the only way we couldn't miss that.
They're having a little talk down there about which side to miss it on. Now they just got to move forward, though. It's over. It's done. Looking at 2 for the Kim rink now.
I know.
And here
This is
comes
a super important one, too.
Yep.
the third, Byung-Lin Jun, to remove the yellow Workin rock. And sit 2. He's made a fine in-turn hit.
Ooh, we might be able to roll under, yeah?
I think so, too.
Evan's going to have to remove one of these 2. He's looking to hit that same rock that's down just below there on the tee and possibly tuck in a little
I think
bit.
we gotta throw a little more.
But it'll just be a simple hit, run back if he does tuck under that red rock.
Here, we can get it up
Why wouldn't you
here.
just take both of those out?
But you gotta get these all the way out.
Which one you like? Upweight, like feel, or?
Man, that
Now he's calling for the skinny double, which I like this
I think we
call.
can-
that's what I just said. I said, well, why would you take both out?
Well, you didn't say skinny double, though.
No, I don't believe in skinny doubles.
I want to hear your joke.
The
I think with upweight
I
here,
just
we
read
can come
actually,
off that and
this
roll
is
up.
kind of interesting. In Norway, they've put barcodes on the bottom of all their
I
ships.
just want to make sure we get them, so I want to play up.
Really?
Yep. I think they did it on their submarines too.
Sliver's fine,
Oh.
she'll kick up
And
right
the
here.
idea is that so the ships leave for the day or whatever they do, and then
Go
when
here,
they
last
come
Rich.
back, they can scan the Navy in.
Scan the Navy in.
Norway. It's a Scandinavian country.
Oh! Ha!
I got one laugh. I got one.
I like it.
Yep.
Scandinavian.
Hey!
Scandinavian.
Go,
That's a
Jordan,
good
go,
joke.
Roll it
He's
up.
made it.
Roll it up. Sit.
Oh, but it's going to roll out of the house. Another 50 cents.
It doesn't look good though for me.
I don't want this much.
Well, the force is
Huh?
on
Well,
or the
if you had to catch it
blank.
thinner and then it would
Doesn't
stop
really
it
look too
more.
good for you, does
Yeah,
it?
I think a
As long as
blank
I don't
should
wanna
be a
throw much
push.
weight.
Don't you
We
think?
can, we can go that way.
Yeah, because
Too much? Yeah. I was gonna say if we
now
Or a
my,
force
play
should
that
be
way,
the
we gotta get
push.
it thinner.
Force of 1 could be the push. The blank, because you've done you steal or blank or force 1. I think it depends, on the situation. Being up to a force of 1 is a good thing for working.
oh,
Probably more so than the blank.
how about we just say you decide if it's a push?
No, we do what you said, the blank.
All right.
I'm trying to think. I have some really good dry jokes too.
I have a really fun, what I thought was a really funny joke, but I've been thinking about it, and there could be some younger people listening,
Yeah,
and I'm a little worried about the joke.
yeah.
Yup, yup.
Maybe if there's anybody in the stream that
아니면 안 돼.
is under
웨이트 봐, 웨이트 봐.
30, maybe they should mute.
안 와도 돼. 안 와도 돼.
Fine draw here by the skip
Yeah.
of the Korean team, Mr. Kim. He has buried that thing back in there. If our angle, he could maybe come around the outside and move that back a little bit, but he's going to draw right to it. This is a fine call.
더 잡을 거. 더 잡을 거.
He's had that same draw a couple times. He's got that down.
Mr. Workin's last rock.
Oh yeah, don't add pressure to it.
I'm flashing my dollar bills at him, but he's not looking
Three-quarter of
up.
the way down.
I thought I'd
Pointed that
lighten
out
the
to
mood for him,
earlier,
maybe.
So there might be a spot there.
Impossible.
Just be close, okay?
That's very true.
이건 들어오기만 하면 우리보다 1번이 될 확률이 많아서.
Once I start telling jokes, I usually get on a roll. Like they all just flow.
4-0.
이건 라인의 문제고 아예 웨이트가 안 맞아야지 되겠네.
A couple cocktails usually helps get that started. And it's too early for that. What do we got going on these other sheets? We're going to have to update things shortly here. One game is over on sheet 1.
하고
Tina,
죽여가지고.
Tina, Tina,
Christina,
Come on,
That
Tina.
was the
Go,
Burr
Mike!
Sluice game.
Go, Tina! Really hard! Go all the way!
Oh, and he's wrecked. And he's going to give up a deuce.
Knew it was going
And
to go.
you, sir, are going to get your money back.
Well, wait till it happens.
어느 쪽이 더 좋아?
I just earned $1.25 for that from that shot, just from the after effects.
Did you guys discuss that
your weight
when you mic'd him up? Did you
I did actually,
did you agree on the?
but no. He said, "Can I get in trouble for swearing?" And I'm like, "You can get in trouble for not swearing. Swearing is what
방금 몇 초였어?
really, you know, if I'm worried about my joke, you know, they've had worse language than my joke.
Can the fans hear these guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can they?
애매하다 싶으면
Well, I don't know if they're fans, but
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe. They got good if they got good speakers. Yeah.
살렸다.
Well, here's the draw for 2 for the Korean rink. Soo-hook Kim.
오케이, 라인 좋아.
클리만
They're on it. They're off it. That's always a good sign. But here it goes. It's starting to curl pretty hard, and they are.
jeez.
Boy, they could have been on that a little sooner, but
Yeah.
just fine. Right to the top 4. 2 for the Korean rink, and we are into a tie game after 5. There's your money back.
All right, so now see, double or nothing. I got to put $1 down because it'll be 4. Oh, then you'd have to put 4 on.
All right.
Oh no, you'd have to put 3 out.
We're not doing that.
All right.
So just throw another buck at it.
Well then here, well then it should be like this, right?
Okay, we'll
you
do
give me
that.
$1.
Yeah, all right, we'll do that. Now you're up.
So
비 먹은 거 같은데. 라인 너무.
do you know why vampires don't have to wear protection?
자, 지금
그러니까
For
클리는
when they're
클리는
having sex?
바깥으로 밀어주면서 하자.
No, I don't know
라인
why.
문제 없으면.
Because they always need permission to come inside.
His water does not measure though.
That's a little racy.
Yeah, that,
I get it though. I got that one earlier than I got the Scandinavian.
yeah. I didn't have to practice that one. I saw that on Twitter this morning. I thought it was pretty clever, actually.
I've got a really. I wonder if Jed's listening up in Duluth. He was last night. He told me a joke, or was it Shire? No, it was Sheerbeck up in Duluth. Told me a joke about a priest, and I don't know if I should really repeat it.
다섯.
Sounds, yeah.
And the difference between a priest and an
아이고
actor,
이렇게.
and how it relates to kids. It's not a good joke, but it's pretty funny. I laughed. I laughed hard actually.
끝까지 와. 끝까지 와.
After I told that joke, do you think it was okay for me to tell that joke?
I'm good with it.
All right.
I'm fine with it.
좀만 더 밀자.
We lost 10 listeners for that joke.
Did we really?
No.
Oh.
2번.
This got all tangled up. I got to remember to untangle this.
Yeah. You're a mess. Okay, we got a tie game, so this is going to be a good finish, folks. We're in the 6th end at the St. Paul Curling Club, if you just joined us.
Five.
Rachel's right.
2018 cash
rock.
Spiel.
Where we at?
3.
I think the payout on the men's side is
Go,
going to
Rich.
be about 10 or 12 grand,
go.
and on the women's side usually about
Come
6
on.
or 8
Keep it
grand,
going, keep it
somewhere
going,
in there.
Keep it going.
Where does all that money come from?
Entry fees. I think it costs you about $650 or $700 as a team to get into this baby. Some teams donate for the chance to play a little competitive
Should've went the other
curling.
way. Yeah.
Is it really mostly
My
just
bad.
the entry fees? It's not
It's
sponsorship
my
or
fault.
anything?
They might get a couple bucks out of sponsors.
So if they wanted to raise they could just raise the entry fee, but they might not get teams.
Right. And it is a WCT event, World Curling Tour event, which gives you points
나를 괜찮아.
towards the
아,
World Curling rankings.
아,
But
영진아 밀고 들어와. 영진아 밀고 들어와.
this isn't going to be worth too many points because the better the teams that are in it, that are ranked in, like, say, the top 10 in the world,
아래 죽는다 계속 와줘.
the more teams that are higher ranked, the more points it becomes worth. Did we talk about this yesterday?
No, but I think we've talked about it enough, don't you think?
Okay, we're done with it.
Although I did talk to Richie, and he said their team was wondering whether or not they were going to do this. But he said as long as, like, Fenner Squad, or, like he said, if these two teams do it, there'll be enough points that makes it somewhat worth it.
Okay, yeah.
이게 네가 계속 던지는 거야.
And they're an HP team now in the HP program.
Yeah,
근데 이걸
program.
바깥쪽으로 치고
program.
나와서 네가 좀 덜 보내는 느낌이긴 해.
Close.
So
Close.
they don't want to just
Close.
willy-nilly bond spiels. They want their bond spiels to be worth
Yep.
그럼 이렇게
quality
하면
points.
All right, Jordan.
내가 더 잡을게.
I'm sure the USCA wants that as well. Hence the reason you don't see the Schuster rink here or
Nice shot, Tina.
Jamie Sinclair.
Jamie Sinclair team is not here. None of the HP adult women's teams are here.
Well, last year, I mean, they just don't have enough women teams that come, so
Yeah.
they don't have the pool.
It's too bad. I know in years past we've seen a couple Canadian female teams come down. It's been a while. And we used to get a lot more Canadian men's teams down here. And this cash bill used to fill up to a point where there would be all 8 sheets going.
Richie said that this Bonspiel historically has been kind of tough with points because he said
Give me
the
a hair
Thunder
extra
Bay
here, hey,
would send
Jordan.
some teams down and they don't really compete like for points,
Stay here
Yeah.
extra
but
for
they're
ya.
really, really good.
Yeah.
And so it's like kind of risky.
Yeah. Yeah. Burgess and Posine and those guys, they come down and usually always qualify. But you don't see them. They just kind of do the cash spiel circuit in the region. Try to make some bucks and pay for their curling for the year.
Clean.
That's
Close,
what I'm
Tina.
doing up here with the
Bet?
Close.
betting.
I might start throwing the Effenheimer around if I lose this end. So I got to get 2 out of the working rink here. And Mr. Brown has come a little heavy and thrown it through the house, unfortunately, and out of play.
Kind of threw that downtown.
He's struggling with his game a little bit this morning.
Yeah, mentally he might need to do a little meditation or something to get himself centered because.
Do you do that in the middle of a game?
Oh yeah.
Do you? What do you do?
I basically just tell my third to shut up, and that usually works.
That usually helps, huh?
Yeah.
I'm a pretty fiery guy, or I used to be, not so much anymore, but
웨이트만.
I've been known to snap a broom or 2 during league play.
I'm pretty calm, but I do breathe when I can tell when I get upset, or if I'm carrying something from work into the game, that'll sometimes mess my game up.
Yeah, that's not good. But you always got to remember it's league. It's a good time. It's
Oh yeah, but that's all I have.
play to win.
Scott is league curling, so I have to take it somewhat seriously.
That's pretty much all I got either. And then even in bond spiels nowadays, like I enjoy bond spieling quite a bit, but I just kind of got to the point where if you're not in the first event, in that third game,
Tina, a little bit.
you don't want to win
Yeah.
the third game.
Just
If
clean.
I'm in the second, third, or fourth event, I just as soon go
Mine's good.
out and have a good time on Saturday night and not have to curl Sunday.
Switch.
Yeah,
Switch.
I don't do a lot of
Quiet.
bond spiels, but
Come on, guys. Come on,
tend
four.
to-
All 4. Go.
take
go,
it
go,
easy
go, come on.
if I'm still in the
All right,
A
all right,
event.
all the way. Right,
But
right
then
here,
after
right here.
that, then I don't really care. I mean, I care. I want to win and everything, but I don't care about imbibing or.
Yeah.
하나 더. 내가 몇
Well, like
시냐?
Brad Clausen says, if you can't win the Spiel, win the party.
In his case, I think he always wins the party, and then if you happen to win the Spiel at the same time, it's like bonus points.
He's won a couple Spiels as
Yeah.
a skip. He won the Hobber Dobber a couple times. And I usually curl with him and Scott in the St. Paul Summer Spiel, the last event of the year here at the St. Paul Club. We have a fine time together.
Brad's, I curl with him in the 40 plus, and he's for the amount of partying he does while playing, he's an amazing curler.
Yeah. Is this the number 4 rock? No, it's the 5 rock.
I don't mind blowing that.
The 4 is in the back of the 4.
Yeah, and it did look like it curled quite a bit.
He's left them an opportunity here again. They just can't seem to get a rock to the top 4. They keep getting in that back 4 area and opening the door for Evan.
Just like right here.
He's calling for back 12, back 8, back 12 weight. Move these rocks just into the 8 foot behind the tee line and sit above them, eliminating the opportunity for the Kim rank to make a hit. And here is his lovely wife Rachel. Rock out of hand, halfway down the sheet, waiting for it to curl. She had a very positive release on that. I think she's a little heavier than back 12 weight.
Go, Tina. Come on, get it over there. Gotta go, Tina. Gotta go.
Not too bad, not too good.
I saw Ray. Just
Hopefully they're sitting, I think they're sitting second and third now, which isn't the worst thing.
안 잡았어 근데.
Well, Jacob Mellinger said he loved the vampire joke, and so he was not, clearly not offended.
Who did?
Jacob Mellinger.
Hopefully he's not 12.
I love it. It's perfect for Halloween. I want to suck your blood.
야, 약하면 웨이트 봐, 웨이트 봐. 야, 야.
It's kind of hanging out there.
It is kind of hanging, but here it comes. It is moving in there now.
Yeah.
Here she comes. It's going to be a little light.
아, 제발 얘들아. 좀
Yeah,
더
they're
더.
working hard on it, though.
They're working hard. They're dragging it a long way. Yeah, they dragged that baby a lot further than I thought they were going to be able to. Fine sweeping by the lead and
like taking
first.
that off?
Yeah.
Huh?
Jun Li Li and Do Young Lee, I believe. It's close anyway.
What?
If we're off nose this way.
I feel physically that donut really
Teal.
helped.
Look at me, I only ate. I did kind of the Minnesota thing that Sean Murray was talking about.
Yeah, well, except I think he thinks people cut it. Like you just ate it and fed some to your wife romantically. I liked how you put it in your mouth and then kissed and tramp.
Did I?
No. You're like each on one side of the donut, like that movie.
Like a noodle.
Yeah. That Disney movie.
필로 올게. 최대한 맞고 세우고 맞고.
All right. Jacob says he's in the clear. He's over 18. I said 30. 30 was the.
Yeah, well, if he's over 18, he's fine.
얘가 안쪽 맞고 들어오는 게 제일 좋긴 해. 그리고 얘가 맞고 서도 이렇게 나쁘진 않거든. 어차피 우리가 이걸
Do that good.
틀을
Really
살리든
good.
얘를 살리든 상대는
How did box they did it too? They kind of ran there.
I'm drawing a blank. I know.
We're
I guess
listening. Can we listen to?
얘는 많이 필릴 수도 있을 것 같아.
I want to know what they're thinking.
킬.
I just did it. I thought we could have got one more.
saying hit it right here.
Do that absolutely perfect weight.
인턴으로 가겠는데 걸릴 것 같아.
He's like, do you think that that's right? I didn't put the broom there.
조금만 더 잡자.
They're gonna
Just a little less, he says. Little less.
4 after this.
And now he's going to move the broom back. That's what I always do.
When their teammate turns around or looks
Yeah.
down to clean the rock,
When they're like, oh, this is where you want it.
yeah, then you move it back.
앞뒤로 스킬 한 개도 안 맞아 지금.
What a prick.
반대로 딱 그래.
Oh, yeah. I just do it when they're wrong.
Do they ever correct you then again?
No.
No, they don't. They don't care. They go, you're
Listen,
second. Just throw it at his left foot. That's what I
yeah, it's
say.
usually when I'm skipping, so it's usually down there, like left, you know. and then I move it back. Or sometimes I'll hold that and they'll go left, 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 and I'll just pretend I don't hear them.
Yep.
Here it comes a rocket. It's getting mighty close to that center line.
On the center rock, I think his head goes down. He's disappointed in that shot, and they've once again opened the door for the Workin rink.
Should have moved the room over farther to the left.
Just normal. Sure. If you want shooter to stick kind of in that area, I'd throw normal.
Just normal? Okay.
I should ask one of their teammates to tell me what the Korean swear words are so I can listen for them.
Shit.
That's not Korean. That sounds kind of Canadian.
Does it?
Not really.
Like just a sliver right in nose?
Shit, eh?
Just
Actually, I
normal.
catch myself using that
Yeah, I wanna
catchphrase.
see it.
Shit ain't free, eh?
다 말하군요. 다 말하는 거.
We have to refund money back if we swear, by the way.
We got an interesting game going on in sheet 6, folks. It was 7-1 after 3. It is now 7-5 after 5. And the Myarki rink, throwing yellow rocks, is sitting 1 without hammer. And about to make a double on the red rocks.
Really hard! Hard!
Evans on the inside of it, and oh no, did not work out.
You gotta get up in front of me more. I'm gonna hit you. You gotta get up in front of me a little bit more. I'm like about to hit you with my broom.
Evan is in an uncomfortable spot right now.
If you were a team psychologist and you heard his interactions with his team, what would you say to him?
Afterwards?
Yeah. Seems like he takes his frustration out sometime on his teammates.
Yeah. A lot of skips do that.
Do you think that's good?
No, I used to do that too. But I don't do that anymore so much. I don't know. You know, I have a degree in behavioral psychology from Western Michigan University, 1987. Dating myself. So,
did you go there right after high school?
no, I went to a small college, small private, very conservative, elitist. Yes, actually it was. It's called Hillsdale College. It's South Central Michigan.
But I mean, did you go like high school and then college and then?
Yeah.
Because that would mean that you're probably 3 years older than me.
82 grad of high school. Somehow or another, I wasn't ever held back.
Wait a minute. Oh, so you graduated in '87?
Yeah, 5 years of college.
So you're not 3 years older than me. You're 8 years older.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I'm really old.
What's that?
Yeah.
For one?
Okay.
Is it just for one?
Anyway, I was going to say something about. Oh yeah, my behavioral
I can't screw
psychology.
this up.
degree,
It's just gonna be a tap.
If you want to put together a,
You know
I
what
know
I
in town
Just like
the high
Which turn do we like?
performance
This one?
sports psychologist is that Carly.
아, 지금
Can't remember her last name.
Gotta tap it back.
But
Which
I'm going
line
to
do you
interview her.
like
I'm
better?
trying to line up an
I don't know if
interview
this
for a
one- I don't
podcast.
know
But
this one very well.
maybe you and I could open up a business. We
moving
could
or
do,
not?
you know, for like club curlers, league curlers, we could do sports psychology.
Yeah.
You be the psychologist, and I'll be the hustler. I'll get it done.
You'll bring in the clientele.
that.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You like that? Back? No.
And then we'll stream the sessions.
Like back 8.
Okay.
whatever you like.
You're
I have to
open?
get my books out again.
I don't think so.
Myself a little refresher.
The kind of
back
stuff
12
that you
I
can
like, I
teach,
think.
you can't learn in
Same
books.
Like back 12 weight here.
Mr. Brundage
아, 나도 우리가
is-
중간에 바깥에
finds
타겟이었어.
himself
그래서 업 시킨 거야.
only up 2
그러면 딱 되겠다 이런데
after
그냥
being
그냥
up 6.
스물스물 도는 게 아니라
All we're gonna do is
And
make contact. Huh?
they really need to make a shot here. He's got an opportunity for a deuce. I don't know what they're talking about in there. He just needs to draw down in there.
그래서 살짝 안쪽 잡고
He's got the
그냥
full 4.
하면 그냥 롤 되겠다 싶어.
Just like back 12. What do you like for like
This
back
might have
12?
what got him in trouble is he's overthinking things.
해봤는 거야?
that 7-point lead or 6-point lead. Now he's overthinking things. He's
85.
slowed the game way down, and he's struggling. We got the hammer coming on sheet 5 from Evan Workin. Looking to tap his rock back
for all the marbles.
Yep, gotta go.
Yep.
Yep, ball, yep, hard. Hard.
They're yelling for the sweep. They're holding it pretty well.
Hard, go. Hard, gotta go.
Curl, it's gonna over curl, and he's gonna miss that back red rock. Give up a steal of 1, and you've got another $1.
Thank you.
Jeez, oh Pete. That was unfortunate. It was a good call. It was probably the right weight. It just over curled on him a little bit.
Switching sides.
일단 샷이 안 나는 거는
Having a little discussion about that. In the meantime, Jed Brundage on sheet 6 still hasn't made a decision on what to do and what to throw. He's getting closer. Looks like he's going to throw the out-turn draw and try to sit shot. Locked onto one of Majerke's, Dominic Majerke's yellow stones.
Is that the right call?
Yeah, that's a pretty good call. I mean, you draw in from that other side, and he's got a run back to remove your rock. So locking it on this stone that's just behind the tee line is a good call. You can use it as a little catcher. You can throw a little different weight. Doesn't have to make a perfect draw. You can bump that rock back 6 inches or something and still be pretty effective, or lock right on it. Really just doesn't want to be light. That won't do him much good. But that stone that's in the top 8, the yellow stone that's in the top 8, Dominic is a fine curler. He can run that baby back in there if the red rock is exposed, not locked onto something. Here comes Jed's rock. Looks like a good line. They're kind of on it, off it. It's curling. Here it goes. They got to get on that baby. It's curling pretty hard. From our angle, it looks like it's going to be real close. Oh, this looks like a great shot.
Oh,
Great shot. And he locked that baby right on there.
yeah, he's sitting 1. It's going to be hard to pop that out.
It is going to be hard to pop that out. Dominic seems to think he can make a double, which he probably could if he throws some good peel weight at it. Now this team is having a big discussion on whether to try to promote into the 4-foot or run that red rock out of there. I like this call. But
A little tight, Jordan. Hard
if he
early.
doesn't get it out and he gives up 2,
Hard early, Jordan.
4, 3, 4.
it'll be down 4
Mine's
with
getting
2 to
better. Keep
play.
it going.
4, 5.
But our
Mine's
game
great
is
now.
on sheet
5,
5.
Mine's
Roll
really
up
nice.
there.
Yeah, and
Mine's
on the
really
other
nice.
end,
Whoa,
so
whoa,
people
whoa.
can't see what we're talking
Rachel's
about
rock.
or what you're talking
Oh,
about.
we're good.
Oh, they can kind of see, can't they?
Hit.
Yeah, you do. You
Oh, no, I
do
guess
paint kitty pictures with your words.
Shot, Tina.
All right.
Well, that's a nice draw.
Yeah. Once again, Christina Lammers has thrown a very, very nice shot with lead rock.
8번 9.
She's been pretty textbook. I think she's maybe missed 1 that I've noticed.
기다려.
You know, it's one of the great things about this game. You got a Korean national team,
라이르님이야.
men's team,
병신아 계속 밀어넣어.
playing their best.
병신아.
Not having a great game, but doing and trying their best, playing against a mixed team from North Dakota who's holding their own. Just shows you how this game is not real gender specific. Anybody can be darn good at it, spend a little time with it.
I actually read a study about the gender dynamics of sweeping. They said they studied men's sweepers and women's sweepers.
Okay.
It sounds like a good beginning of a joke, actually.
Or a porno. Oh, wait a minute.
If you had a,
You told a dirty joke.
if you had that sort of movie,
Jordan's
and,
rock,
and
Jordan's
you had to
rock.
have a male
Gotta go,
sweeper
guys.
and a female sweeper,
Yeah.
Really
Who would
coming
it be?
down.
who would be your male sweeper?
In a movie?
In that sort of movie, and you had to pick a male sweeper and a female sweeper.
Well, oh, geez, that's a tough one. Maybe me for the male sweeper.
Yeah, but you're not any good at it. You're too tall.
Is that what the study shows? If you're too tall, you're not a very good sweeper?
No. So it said that they did a study, and they said that it's true that men can put more pressure and more effort, into the sweeping generally.
Sure.
But what in the length of a game, the amount of effect that they have on the stone peaks and then diminishes because they use up their energy.
Okay.
And women sweepers tend to provide very consistent throughout all ends.
Okay.
Which could be a benefit. I mean,
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're just different,
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Leave it alone, he says. Leave it alone, Mr. Lee from the Korean team, drawing right down on top. We got a little pile going here.
Yep.
This looks like a Mike Farbelow special with a bunch of rocks in the 4-foot. Hey, I got a question for you. I got a question for the crowd out there. How many people are on us? What do we got?
We're at 40 now.
Still at 40.
Yep.
Right here.
How many rocks can you fit completely inside the 4-foot?
We did this one year. We went down and filmed it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
For one
So
of these deals.
if anybody wants to guess out there, it has to be completely inside the 4-foot.
If they're right, what do they get?
Kudos from Stonecast.
Can't you get them a beer at Chaska?
I could get him a beer at Chaska or St. Paul. If they,
Yeah.
I could leave a little note for him here. If
Yeah, we'll do that.
we'll do that, yeah.
If anybody gets it right,
Yeah.
we'll
We'll
hook 'em
leave
up
a-
at St. Paul.
Right, we'll leave a little note back there for the bartender that says 2 free beers or 1 free Beetle Breezer. Have you ever had a Beetle Breezer?
Yes, I have.
Fantastic.
Yep. Kent Beetle actually founded this. Star was the first guy that ran this bond spiel.
That's right. And the name of the drink is
from
after
him, yeah.
Kent Beetle. When he breezed a
It's because he breezes by the competition.
That's very nice of you, though. Any guesses yet? How many rocks can you fit completely inside the 4-foot? Maybe if they're watching at their curling club,
They can go out.
they're going to run out there real quick.
Yeah, you have to submit a picture though to qualify. We'll get you a St. Paul Curling Club T-shirt if you submit a picture with it.
By the end of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how you say.
Mr. Brown's throwing a peel here for those of you that are interested in this game and not our scintillating conversation.
Oh, my bad, Rich.
우리 2번이지.
Who's got hammer?
So this is the 7th end, right?
Yeah, this is the 7th. Workin has
Yeah.
hammer.
So Kim, they haven't set it up there, but Kim is up 5-4. Is that right?
Kim is up 5-4. And Kim is throwing red rocks. And
Here comes the number 4.
Workin is sitting 1. Is this the number 4 rock? Did you catch it? No. Workin is sitting 1, but he is not in a good spot sitting 1. I can promise you that. This is going to be a lot of guards for the rest of the way out of the Kim rink. They are set up perfectly for you to get another $1 out of me.
Yeah, you better get it ready.
Jeepers creepers.
It's really tempting to run that.
Now, are those dollars, did
Wanna
we
try and
decide
play
that they
this or
represent $20?
I'll see ya.
Is that what we had decided?
I thought it was 5.
Yeah, it was
What are you
5.
trying to do here?
I think I'm
Mike?
okay with $1 too.
Okay. You're just being nice to me.
Yeah.
I'm down 10.
Well, it's my strategy to, whenever I can pay somebody a little extra money so that they'll be friendly to me.
Yeah.
That's what
You do that?
Yeah, so then, and the opposite is true. If I can take a little less money and still maintain friendship that way. Everybody that I have, I just, it's a bot thing.
It's about money.
Yeah. Or influence, power.
Got another peel happening here.
That was pretty thin peel.
That was worked out just fine.
19 rocks. That's the first guess. 19.
19 is wrong.
So
19 is not correct.
now, if he
has to be completely inside the 4 feet.
if he then guesses again,
기다리자, 기다리자.
each guess you get, if you have multiple guesses, the reward
goes down
by 50%.
동현아.
So you get a half.
동현아,
If
놈이야.
Jacob, if you guess again and you get it right, you get a half a beer.
Well, I said 2 beers, so you'd still get 1 beer.
1 beer.
Because I figured we'd each buy a beer for whoever got it right.
All right. Well, come during the day, and then someone will just pour it for free.
조금씩까지 막아야 되나?
That's usually
We
the
got to
case.
get this off.
That's what makes this place so darn special.
Yeah.
And we gotta
Remember what you
play,
said
like-
earlier about when games get to a certain spot? Like this is kind of in that
We'd
spot.
have
in
to
that
come.
mode, yeah.
We're gonna come this way over the top, and we're gonna give him a shot, and we're gonna lay. They're gonna lay
얘네들
2.
technique 잘못하면
And then
우리가
we got this open. Then it doesn't matter. I gotta
근데
have an
우리가
open
지금 상위
spot. I have nothing. Right
까지
now.
할수 있는 상황이
Why
gotta
doesn't he?
make this
Does he
across.
hitting that red in the
And then
top
it'll
of the
come
floor?
here.
Would that be a
This
bad?
should roll to here.
Well, he's going to
That
lose
should
his
go
shot
out.
rock. So
How about if you just kind of like tapped it and then
I
slowly
don't like
moved?
that being there. I think we just gotta.
earlier would have been better.
We're
He's
a little late.
yeah, he just said it. He's a little late, I think.
Yeah. I think we
So
just gotta go up weight, come across it.
he's just trying to really
Open
open
it
it
all
up.
off.
Yeah, he doesn't want anything around. He knows he's going to lose his own, but he wants to move those 2 red ones that are in the top 4 away from there. So he's got something. They need a miss to get 2, but
Yeah.
at least he'll give him that opportunity. Perhaps it should guarantee him 1.
상대들이 센터에 서는 게 제일 좋고 우리들이 안 나가는 게 제일 좋고.
And right now he's looking at a steal at 2, so he's going to force the action, which I like. Good call.
Hard!
Got it back in there. Nice shot. Nice shot. Got those all the way out to the 12 foot. That's just fine. Kimmerink will draw under that guard, but that's okay. They get a little deep or miss it. Then there's your opportunity for 2.
I thought I
아, 턴으로 이렇게 맞겠나? 상관은 없네. 많이 도는 거면.
get both those.
I didn't think it would either.
Not sure what happened on sheet 1, but that game ended really early.
인턴이 근데 더블
Yeah, that.
Do you want me to go find out?
아니야, 밀어 넣어야 돼. 더블 상관없어.
No.
어차피 지금
So then I'm like, this is getting bad.
8.
Someone asked. Anybody guess yet?
퍼프 파이트도 괜찮을 것 같아.
No.
8번 갔죠?
No more guesses?
잡아야 돼.
Should I just
We only have one person that has a keyboard.
Tap back on it, then you lock it on.
should
I find that a lot of times with these streams, people hear my voice and then they turn the volume down right away.
It was gonna be
Well,
like,
I do that
they were
whenever
gonna
I
be
hear Joe
lined up
Buck
three-
announcing a
Yeah.
game.
Oh, the other day he did the Vikings game.
Did he? Yeah.
The Vikings
Rams game.
Rams game on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And they had you could watch it on Amazon Prime, and they had alternate audio,
Wow, you
and so you could watch. They had a pair of female announcers,
Yeah.
and then they had a channel called Old English, and they had 2. I don't know if they were Irish, but they had a strong, British-Irish accent. 2 soccer commentators doing it, and so that's what I watched the game, and it was great. They called everybody lads and things like that.
I bet that was interesting.
Well, Ryan Melberg is still thinking about the answer.
Okay, I won't say anything yet. Here's the draw
Every inch, Rich.
by the
Every inch. Go, go, go.
Skip Suhu Kim.
You're really doing a bang-up job with these names.
I'm trying. I'm pretending.
Oh, well, Ryan is wondering if 12 rocks is the answer.
12 is incorrect.
I mean, fighter the better, obviously, you can get to the middle. Just like what, back 8?
Incorrect. Run to your local club, somebody, and see what you can do. If we stayed on, we could run down and show them on sheet 1 if the camera would go over there.
Or at the end of this one, we
Or
could
if,
do it here.
if we stayed, so should we do that?
Well, do we have time?
Do we have time?
Yeah. We get
They're going to
to-
go out shaving
we get to
after
open
this
the
draw,
middle,
so we
and
do
just
have
open out
time.
here.
Yeah, the only thing is that
Come back a little bit.
I don't
But
know.
like back 8.
I don't want
Get
to
up
piss
late
off
tight.
the ice maker.
Insanely tight, but
I'll handle that guy. I
We've
know-
done this before,
I
but
know him well. He'll be just fine.
all right.
We'll
We'll prove it. We'll prove it at the end of this draw. So tweet all your friends. If we get this up to, well, now we're at 36, so
Tweet all your friends. I am on no social media, and I think that I like that. I used
Ryan Melberg says he thought it could be a couple more, but
Push!
his club does not have ice yet.
Yep,
Oh,
hard early.
not yet.
Hard
Yeah.
early.
Those guys are.
Hard early, gotta go.
He is way narrow.
Go!
Not going to get around that guard. I'm not sure what he called here.
Keep on it. Drag it over.
I think he started that rock out a little bit. It started curling on him really early.
Oh, he held his tongue.
He did hold his tongue.
What the hell?
Might have had a pick there because that rock started curling before it was even halfway down the sheet. Had a very strange trajectory on it. Yeah, they're in a little pickle. Boy, they started this game out really well, and they have struggled here in the 5th, 6th, 7th end a little bit, unfortunately.
Do you know what the
costing me money?
what do you think the exchange rate is between? Well, first off, what do you think the currency in Korea is?
Yen.
I doubt it's the yen, but
What's yen?
Is it?
Is it Japan has a yen?
yeah, I think so. So one, I want to know what the exchange rate is, and then if they win the whole thing, how much yen are they going to get?
Or a bot. Maybe it's a bot.
I think I remember. Yeah.
You should have a guy, one of your tech guys over here. You guys should be on the Google answering all these questions for your boss. Like they do on KFan.
Careful, don't say boss.
Don't say boss.
We could ask that guy right there. He'd probably tell
He
us.
probably could tell us. Well, down to the hammer. And Workin is looking at 4.
If we miss it, we're done.
He's got to make a run back double.
Or we can try and draw the edge of the 4-foot. We're just going to give him 1 here?
I think we draw.
Oh, that's like the worst conversation. Are you going to eat that other donut?
How about we cut it in half?
Okay, I'm open.
Or just split it?
Oh, here, we got the information.
Here more, Rach.
Oh,
All right, so
fine job.
it's the won, W-O-N. Is that what you said, the won?
I said yen.
Well, then you corrected it. It's the won.
W-O-N, the won.
Yeah, you know what their $1 bill is?
Oh, 2.
It's one.
They say 2.
Oh, and it's .00088.
So it's virtually the same.
Dollars. All right, so do we know what the prize money is?
I think for the men, they're looking at, if you win it all, probably somewhere in $3,500 to $4,500 range, maybe.
All right, so we'll say $4 grand.
Yeah.
That is, well, that's 40 grand. That is 4,523,479 ones.
Yeah! Hard, Jordan!
Well, I thought the exchange rate.
4.5 million.
Oh,
Those guys are going to be millionaires.
gave up 4. This game is over, folks. They're going to shake hands.
Single one. Fucking left. Good game, guys.
All right.
Good game.
They're shaking hands.
Now, I learned here that when this happens, you mute because people then run to go to the bathroom.
Before they take their mics off.
Yeah, because they got to go.
You muted me?
No, I didn't.
Uh-oh.
Still us.
Oh, that's why it's so quiet. Yeah, the ice is silent. That's weird now. Well, they're kicking rocks back, folks. It was unfortunate for the Workin rink. They cost me a lot of money.
$3 to be exact.
$3. They started the game out quite well in the first 4 ends, and then they just kind of struggled. I think, frankly, the ladies on the Workin rink played much better than the guys. Evan was definitely struggling with his draw weight near the end. I think he just really needs to put another full rotation on the rock, and he'll have much more success.
Should we go tell him that?
I think I'll mention that to him if Jordan or one of the gals didn't already. And I didn't really hear him talk about that, but we do have still a very interesting game going on sheet 6. And some other games are pretty tight over here, so I'm going to leave it up to you to
well, I have
update 'em.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Maybe we could get somebody to sit in here
While we do
while we do the rocks down there.
the 4-foot thing.
You want to do that?
Sure.
I mean, do people? Yeah.
Dude,
We can get the overhead going on this.
are they still watching? Do anybody give a shit?
Yeah. Well, we got 40 viewers.
Okay.
They might. Yeah. And then. Yeah, maybe we can get some advice on where we should be.
We could go do it. Is 4 over? We could go do it on sheet 4.
But if we do it on 5, we have the direct overhead view.
Okay, we'll do it on 5 then. But we better wait a little bit here because we don't want to interrupt anybody on 6.
Okay. At
So
the end of sheet 6. So we're watching down.
Yeah, at least when they're playing back down in the 8th end, we could do it then. But we don't want to be standing out there while they're sliding out on the same end. Here's Dominic Markey throwing a draw against 5. And I think that's his first rock. It is first skips rock. He has the hammer, and he's drawn against 5. He looks a little heavy, but he's got some backing back there, and he's going to sit shot. Nice shot. Bump the red rock back. Mr. Brundage is going to have the exact same shot to throw and just move that yellow rock back into the back 12.
Yeah, he didn't look very happy with that shot.
He might have been trying to get more to the inside. Not to expose it as much as he did, but still a pretty good shot out of us recreational guys, you know.
I've got Jason's phone here. I wonder, should we read some of Jason's personal tweets and personal messages?
Let's see if he's got any dirty jokes in there.
Yeah. He's got he's left. If he was on the microphone, I'd do it. But
yeah.
Or on the headset.
Now it's not worth it because he doesn't know.
They were mic'd.
Yes.
What were they talking about?
We were having a question.
Yeah, the question was they were mic'd. The Korean team was talking about strategy.
Okay.
And the Workin team was talking about lunch.
Oh, and he breezes it. Jed Brundage just threw way too much weight, breezed an open hit, and is going to give up 2. And this game that was at 1 point 7-1 is going to be 8-7 after this last rock gets thrown.
Yeah, he breezed it by on the right.
And it just had no reason to throw that much weight at it. I don't understand that call at all. All he needed to throw was control weight or even down weight, board weight would have been fine. He would have definitely removed the rock and forced a draw against 4 or 5 stones. Now he's left an easy draw into the full 8 for 2. Someone needed to talk him out of that peel weight that he was trying to throw.
I'm going to see if I can get Evan to commentate our rock setting.
Okay.
He's a mic type person.
Evan Workin?
No. When this sheet 6 is done, we're going to go down there and see how many rocks we can set in the fort.
Don't say anything. If you know, don't say anything. Don't say anything. There's people waiting to see how this works out.
Would you be willing to commentate
On you guys?
Yeah.
and whatever's going on over here?
On how well they place rock?
Fine draw by Dominic for 2. 8-7 after 7 on sheet 6. What a comeback. And a steal 1 will tie this game up. I think those guys were probably figuring they were going to play 4 ends after that big lead, and now we're playing 8.
We have.
I think we could go do it now while they're throwing down this way. We won't be interrupting them. I just didn't want to be down there.
You're okay. You're okay doing it now?
Yeah, we could go do it now. They're throwing back from.
Okay,
the far.
so we're gonna pass the mic off. We've got Evan here.
You know what? No, I vetoed myself.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. But you know, you've been around for a while, and nobody screws around with you.
It's a cash spiel. We better
Yeah.
do that. We'll do it at the end of that game.
Yeah, but we've arranged commentating for the
sweet
for the Rocks and the remaining matches.
Which are where? Come on, let's update.
They're on
some
sheets
scores.
2 and 3.
We got the Andrew Stopera, the junior national and world silver medal team, on sheet 2. Playing against another HP junior team in the Sinet rink.
Sinet, yeah.
And that game is 3-2.
Yeah, or 10-3.
Well, I think that was a blank end.
I agree.
But you never know. It is 8. We talked about Al Taylor. He scored 9 one end. You could see it on YouTube. YouTube, Al Taylor, 9-point end. I think it'll come up.
And then on sheet 3, we have Flannery and Trexler.
And that game is 5-2. Red Rocks, which is
Trexler. Evan is behind us doing vocal warm-ups.
Get some water. You can wet those pipes.
You got to do some warm-ups. Nice.
I thought, what do they say? They do those like Peter Piper pick peppers.
Yeah, they do those too. Yeah. And then you do the you want to get your vowels. You go A, E, I, O, U. I used to take voice lessons, you know.
So you're enunciating properly.
Got to get it in your head voice.
What did you take voice lessons?
Where?
When?
I took them in my 30s, late 30s.
To sing?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to be in a lot of theater and stuff like that, and I was never really that good, not really confident with singing, but I was okay. And so I wanted to take some lessons, and I got a great teacher, Don Hoynes, taught out of St. Olaf College. I'd drive down there and visit my sweetheart at the same time and have some tacos and have a voice lesson. And he was very left of me politically, so we would end up arguing politics the whole time.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed.
I bet. I thought you probably sat a little bit on the left side.
Well, this guy sat pretty far left.
So far left he was right?
No, but he served in Eisenhower's not administration, and like I think Eisenhower served in France post-war and like presided over Reconstruction France.
Wow.
And so so he was in his office.
Yeah.
That was all around the time that the Monica Lewinsky thing was going on.
Yeah.
And he said, nowadays they cover everything. Back Eisenhower, he always had gals on the side, and nobody cared then.
Right. They all did.
Yeah.
You know, think about John F. Kennedy. Holy crapes.
Every time I think about John F. Kennedy, I think holy crapes.
I think holy crapes because he spent a lot of time with, what's her name?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe, yeah.
All right, so Brundage has the hammer.
Brundage has hammer, up 1, playing the 8th. As I mentioned, a big lead lost.
No problem.
The 5-rock rule is coming into effect for the Dominic Myerke rink here. They have this 5-rock rule is especially nice for them. He could throw another guard that couldn't be removed, but
well, wait a minute. No,
chosen to come under.
He doesn't have the hammer.
Correct.
So why does that help Dominic?
Well, you have opportunity to throw that extra guard to steal and tie the game.
No, but isn't this the 5th rock?
This is 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Anyway, he could still throw another guard.
Yeah.
Couldn't be removed, right?
Well, no, but if that guard was the 5th rock.
If this rock was the 5th rock,
yep,
it could not. Oh, this next rock could remove it.
Yeah.
You're right. But it would leave 2 guards up there. I see. Yeah, we're thinking 2 different things.
Yeah, right and wrong.
This is going to be an interesting finish. Now they've got one buried into the 4-foot back 4 behind the tee line, but it's still in fine shape. Jed's got one sitting out in the 12 on the tee line, and they're just going to try and open up the front. And this is going to be the same thing that we've seen many times on other sheets where we get peels and guards and peels and guards, and then the skips will make some kind of shot they got to make to try to win the game. Did anybody else guess? Or they're just waiting patiently?
No, there have been no guesses, but I do want to remind the 33 people that are left, we're going to, as soon as sheet 6 is done, we're going to go down there and we're going to demonstrate how you fit more than 3 rocks
inside the 4-foot.
And we're going to throw them from the other end.
No, we're not.
We're show-offs here.
No. We're going to – so if you didn't know, we've asked how many rocks can you fit completely inside the 4-foot circle? And we had a guess of what, 12 and 19?
19 and 12.
Those are incorrect. There's Brian Agri coming out, throwing up another peel for the Brun to drink.
Brian's a nice guy. I curl, I think,
good shot.
curls on Tuesdays here.
Another guard's going to go up. We're into thirds rocks now. Matt Wicklund down here getting ready to throw his rock. One of the nicest guys you meet. You talk about a gentle giant. He's about the same size as Jordan Brown. And he picks the rock up and rubs it on his chest when he cleans it instead of just turning it on its side and wiping it off. He picks the whole thing up, rubs it on his chest, and gets ready to throw. He's a fine curler. Out of Duluth. His guard is a bit tight, and it's going to curl over that center line, I'm afraid. It's holding its line pretty well. It's going to curl over that center line. It's a good spot for it. It does leave an opportunity for Sean Murray to throw a double peel here. It's a little tight to the other guard. Here comes Sean. Another fine curler. Sean usually skips. I'm kind of surprised he's playing.
Yeah, last year he got to the finals of this.
Yeah, he sure did. He makes the peel. I think he really wanted to make that double peel, though. He's a little disappointed in himself.
So now, if we get more guesses, are you going to? Are we going to say if they're right or wrong, or are we going to wait? You have to wait until the demonstration.
Well,
because we have more guesses now.
Oh, we do. What are the guesses?
Well, Aaron Semaru, very cool sounding name, all in lowercase. So he's probably from Canada.
Yeah.
16.
It's incorrect. But
you are wrong, sir.
We'll show you, and we can demonstrate it regardless. If someone, that's up to you. You're the general of this whole army.
Producer.
Yeah.
I'm a producer.
You're a producer. Forget about it.
Tomorrow, when you're going to be here doing the semis and the finals, I have to tell you some of my new sales techniques that I'm learning.
Where are you learning them from?
Well, I've hired a sales
guru.
Yeah, an executive coach. Yeah, executive coach and a sales trainer.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing, actually.
You've got a lot of money.
No, I want to. No. Okay, here we go. Ryan, this is Ryan's second guess, so you realize that the 2 beer.
Oh, and he gets it off the 4-foot. There's a nice run back by Sean Murray. He's opened up the front of the house and removed the yellow rocks off the 4-foot into the 8 and allowed for Jed access into that 4-foot.
Did you
Great
notice,
shot by
Did you
Sean.
notice that he's got this sneaky technique? He blinks a lot in front of the house, and then his eyebrows.
Jed or Sean?
Sean. His eyebrows fall down and junk up the front, so that.
You ever watch Smitty curl? Jason Smith?
Yeah, he's going to be on. When's he? He's going to be on.
Smitty kind of does the same thing. He blinks and blinks, and he kind of rolls his eyes a little bit, and I don't think he knows he's doing it. I talked to him about it one time. What?
All right, we have another guess, but I wanted to say, so if you get the guess right on the first time, we'll buy you 2 beers.
2 beers.
If you get it right on the second time, you'll get 1 beer. And so now Ryan has got a second guess. 11 rocks, he says.
That's incorrect. Well, this game has come to a screeching halt. Dom is trying to decide on where to place this for his first skips rock here in the 8th end. He needs to make a steal to tie the game up. He's got one rock buried for the most part in the 8-foot sitting shot. And it looks like he's going to come right down to that, according to the broom that Matt Wickland's holding.
Ryan says that's his first. Oh, geez, there's a Ryan Melberg and a Ryan Mellinger. Oh, no, but there's Jacob Mellinger. I think that Jacob might have swithed his name to Ryan so he could get multiple guests.
Is he? Oh, is he? He's only 18 though. He can't drink. Isn't that the same guy?
Well, yeah, that's a good. Well, no, Jacob is over 18. He didn't really designate.
Well, you got to be over 21.
Well, can't we buy him sodas?
We can buy sodas, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe cranberry juice.
Well,
Jacob says no, it's not the same. Okay, Ryan, I apologize.
This rock,
but you still don't get 2 beers because you were wrong.
Okay. Dom's rock's coming down. He's throwing it like a, I think, top house guard here. Boy, they're carrying it real well. Sweeping to Eric Quistgaard. He's got to learn how to tighten that sweep up a little bit. He's a fine sweeper. He just goes too far, uses too much energy. He needs to tighten his sweeping up a little bit. Doesn't need to sweep 3 feet past the rock.
Jacob is well over 21.
Is he?
Yeah. Now, how many guesses did Jacob have so far? Because he might be going to, he has to buy us a beer. Jacob's only had 1 guess. So.
This is not a hard call.
I think his guess is
really
well over 21 fit in there.
Well over 21. All right.
No, he is.
But he didn't guess right.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I think he's waiting. He's waiting for.
Do you know the answer?
I knew it at one point because we did this in a previous deal.
Right.
I think probably one of the ones. It was probably later when we were a little cocktailed up.
Ooh, fun. I got to run back down to my home club and hang out there a little bit this afternoon and evening.
Yeah, what's going on over there?
The Twin City Curling Association Invitational Bonspiel, which I gave to my assistant ice makers because I wanted to hang with you up here.
I like that.
Once a year, I like to give a Bonspiel to my assistants and say, hey, who wants to run it? Who wants to be the head ice maker for a Bonspiel? And usually someone
Who are your assistants?
I got about 5 or 6 guys that work, 1 day or 2 days. I think one guy works 3 days a week on the ice with me. They're just part-time guys that Dan Wenberg is one guy. He does a fine job with me, and Scotty Hines, and Matt Dolan is a fine ice maker. Works with me, lives in Jordan, down south of Chaska a bit. And Craig Swanson, he's also a Jordan guy. Dan Arlig, who's the luthier we talked about earlier.
Ask him if he can make a curling stone-shaped violin.
Well,
because my daughter plays violin and she curls. And
I think he could probably do
or
that.
Maybe I play mandolin. Can he make a mandolin?
I would think he probably could make some kind of mandolin. Yeah, guy's brilliant, very talented.
He could build, because he's brilliant. He could build a mandolin for your stupid friend who plays mandolin.
If you're referring to yourself, you're not stupid at all. You're way smarter than me.
In the ways of the mandolin.
So, we are down to Jed. This is Jed's. Where are we at?
No, this is Marikey's shot.
Marikey's. Dominic's last rock. And he's sitting 2. He's going to draw the top 4 just off the center line and really, really put the pressure on Jed to make a fine draw. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. Dominic's rock is going to be touching the 4-foot. I can pretty much guarantee that. Whether he's in the top of the 4-foot or the tee line, I don't know, but it's going to be about within a foot of where he wants it to be. This guy,
he's precise.
What I have seen, throws a fine, fine rock. Curled for the Swiss national team, was in the Olympics.
Got a bronze.
I think, yeah, was it the 14 games that he was in?
Yeah, but I think he got a bronze in
Got
the
a
last
bronze.
one.
In 18?
Well, he
This
got
is-
it when he was a 5th.
And John won the gold?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
No.
He went. Dominic got a bronze. I think in the last Olympics.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Should we tell Craig that we're going to do this so that he doesn't get down there as soon as they might be just waiting?
Well, where is he? No, his shaver's still not even on the ice. He's got a shave. He's got time. Here comes the rock. They're pounding it down. It is looking a little light. He might be not quite into the 4, but they are working it. It is gliding, and he's in about a foot from where he wanted to be. He's not in the 4 foot. I said I'd guarantee he'd be in the 4 foot.
Yeah, you said within a foot of the 4 foot. So that kind of looks like the 5 foot.
That is the 5 foot. 5.5 foot.
Yeah, because there's a yellow.
Jed's made a quick decision for the first time in a long time in this game, and he's going to throw the draw for 1 against 3 to win this game. He is up 1. Here it comes. Out of hand at the hog line. Down the sheet. Sweepers are kind of keeping it clean with a light brush. Looks like it's got plenty of weight. They're not touching it for weight at all. Here it is into the near hog line, down into the house, and he is heavy, folks. I think this is going to glide into the back 12. And this game is over. Gave up a steal of 2 after a 6-point lead. Very disappointing. That'll take the wind out of your sails, folks. Unfortunately, they lose the game. We're going to go show you how many rocks you can fit inside the 4 foot. Here we go.
All right, so we're going to hand it over to Evan Jensen. He's going to take over the mic duties so he can cover some of the other sheets. We'll get those going while we're getting set up. So there's a little mute.
I can hear now. Yeah, no problem. So I hear these guys are going to go down and see how many rocks they can fit in the 4 foot. Is that correct? How many rocks you can fit in the 4 foot? In the 4 foot. Are you doing on sheet 5? Okay.
And there's a bet here. So
oh, we got a bet going.
Yeah, this is the chat stream going. So whoever guesses it, they get 2 free beers if they get it on the second guess. And so
Okay, are we going to be able to hear you? Are you putting on a mic? No. Oh, okay. Yeah, put on a lav. Yeah. Oh, it looks like Belvich has the rocks out there already. Got a couple of bets out there. These guys are crazy. They don't even have the right overhead on the stream. All of it. Oh, there it is. I'm watching it. I'm watching the live stream, so there's a delay, quite a big delay.
Why are you not commentating on this?
Hey, settle down. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, look at that.
What is that, 14, 15? 14 rocks. Am I counting that right? Yeah, 14. 14 rocks. For the... Chris didn't even make it on the ice. They got 14. Where's Chris? Well, for those of you who bet, I don't see 14 in the chat here. 11, 16, 12, 19. You guys are close. But Yeah. 12. Yeah. Well. Here. Yeah, let's move this onto the 8-foot. Yeah, are we switching the stream over to 2 and 3? All right, so we got Chris coming back here. I think we're moving over to sheets 2 and 3. See what we got going on over there. All right, camera switched over. We're switched over to 2 and 3 now. You live? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and I'm back. So I missed the I missed all the drama on the rocks because I was using the restroom. So 14 was the answer?
14 was the answer, yep.
And we don't know anybody.
I didn't see it in the list.
Nobody is owed a beer.
Nope, unless you guys had a side bet going on between the two of you.
No, well, he knew what the answer was.
Oh.
We've done this before.
Okay.
Oh, we've got some more shenanigery going on to the right over here.
Oh.
Ice Games by Scott Belvich. So what's going on over here in the far sheets?
Looks like the game on 3 there is pretty close. Both sheets are in the 8th end.
Flannery?
Yes.
And Trexler. And sheet 2, Stopera versus, is it Sinnott? Is that who they're playing? Yep.
I think so, yep. Yeah, I don't know much about that team.
And it looks like Stopera's down.
Yes. Sitting 1 in the back 8. They're down 3. Throwing up a corner guard. See if they can use that later on. And it looks like Sinnett's just going to peel it off.
Yeah, yeah, nobody won. They thought it was rigged, though.
Scott's rigging bets?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I'm going to see if Scott can, if he wants to have a whiskey with me. I mean, it seems fitting.
Of course.
A little bit. We could celebrate our victory.
All right, so Sinnett's team successfully peeled that off. Rolled the guard over to the right side there.
So this is the 8th.
Yes.
Going up a hill. Cliff.
Looks like Stopera's going to try to have them draw down to the freeze down to their back one, maybe.
Yeah, or maybe not.
He's still looking at it.
I really like listening to Luke and Andrew talk. Like Luke is really, I mean, they have a kind of a good banter going back and forth, and Luke's very opinionated and quick on what he thinks is the right shot. And, yeah. So Flannery is the yellow rocks.
Yes.
And they're down by 1.
Yep.
And
they don't have hammer.
They don't have hammer.
So I got to try to steal one here to tie it up. At least.
Well, looks like that's going to be tough, I think.
Yes.
How did you do today?
We lost our game this morning against Fenner. It was a close game. Came down to the last shot.
Yeah, I think it was. You're on sheet 6.
Last shot at least. Yep.
Yep. I saw you do some wicked sweeping out there.
Oh, always.
Yeah, good job
Thank
with
you.
that. Yeah. St. Paul, we got a new scraper.
I heard about that. It was in the one of the emails that the new president's been sending out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty proud.
You know what's funny is that Craig told me that he was going to get it, And I said, oh, you are? And he said, yeah. He goes, I just have to tell the board that I need it. And they're like 10 grand. I mean, it's not like, I'm like, wow, we need new cameras. We just told the board that we needed it. And they said no.
Well, it's probably a little different when the board is paying you money to do things.
Well, yeah, and I have to believe that that is more important as far as the quality of the curling experience in St. Paul. Now, if I would have said we need $10,000 for a Scotch cabinet,
ooh, yeah,
that might have got.
That could improve some curling ability around.
Yeah, well, at least spirits.
Yeah.
Spirits always help with spirits.
Yes.
Until it kills you.
Ooh.
The spirit.
Oh. Craig's been doing a good job with the ice this weekend, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's curling a lot. It's fast. And holding up over all eight ends. All right, we got another peel attempt here coming on sheet 3. She got it.
Successful. Yeah, it's interesting, too. She came this way.
Yeah, cut it close to that, that guard.
So Luke, do you think he wanted to put that there? He put that yellow on top?
I don't think so. I didn't see the...
Like, it doesn't make sense if you need to get 3.
No. With only...
Yeah, there's 3 shots left.
Yeah, 2 now.
You could just see from the body language,
Yeah.
Looked a little...
I'm sure they wanted it behind that guard instead of right in front of it.
Maybe tucked right under?
Yeah. Either way, it would have left Sinet with a shot to get rid of it. If it was right behind, they could just run that red one back into it.
Mm-hmm. I noticed in your game, you're kind of weak on the skip position, don't you think?
I'm weak. Oh, our
yeah, I mean, it seemed like you lacked some strategy.
No.
You turned immediately red. Their skip is standing right here, and his face bright red. It could be his hot pink shirt.
It's probably the shirt.
Yeah, reflecting up from the...
Yeah.
So is this like a permanent gig now? Is this like your competitive team? You guys going to take it by?
Yeah, we're gonna take
it by the bull's horn.
Yeah, right by the horns.
Nice.
Yep, we're gonna show them who's boss.
Do you have does Craig's Curling Shoes sponsor your team? Or are you going to get Craig's Curling Shoes like shoes?
I don't know. Well, yeah, we're fighting hard for it. We'll see.
You know, Ruby's 10, and she's into. I don't know anything about shoe brands, but there's this one shoe that she really likes. We had to get, and I noticed on his webpage, he recently did a pair of them. The hell, all the kids, and they're not expensive shoes. They're like $25 or $30. What are some brands recently you've worked with on your webpage?
No.
No, it's like a brand that all the kids like. Flat sole. You had it on your webpage.
Pay that much attention.
It's all right. It's not that important. Is that a doctor who? All right. Well, you've redeemed yourself.
Sinet almost got rid of all of them on sheet 2 there.
Craig Nico flipped out his TARDIS phone cover. That would have been really useful for the question of how many rocks can fit in the 4-foot, because we could probably fit more. Vans. Yeah.
Oh.
Vans, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't
kids
think
do
that's
like their Vans.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on.
Yes. Let's get back to the game here.
All right, so it looks like on sheet 2 that they are sitting 1, Andrew's team, and he's shooting his first rock.
I think he's going to try to draw to the which way is he going here? To the left side? No,
right side.
Right side, you're right.
Well, his left, though.
Yep. Looks a bit heavy.
It does.
Sweepers are backing off. That might go through the house, and that might be game.
Yeah, you can see when he came down just his body language.
Yep. He was not happy about that. It did stick around, though.
Mm-hmm.
Still got a chance to tie it up here. Sinet has to hit one of those out. Otherwise, he leaves an open house draw for Stupera to tie it up.
Wow.
Oh, girls
Trexler runs the red.
Straight
right
run back. Wow. What a shot. That is a long run.
She's a good skip. I remember. I think she did the juniors. She was in the junior thing that we did here.
Okay.
And I remember her. I thought she did a good job. She had good strategy. Clean.
And a straight hit by Sinet. And there are the handshakes.
All right, so we're down to one game.
Yep. 2 rocks left, 1 each. It's going to be Flannery's last shot.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's much you can do to.
She's got to probably either pull one in or just, guard to keep them from hitting it.
You could, no, I'm not good with strategy, but if you could get over and draw down to that red.
Yeah, you could freeze on. It would leave an open, open draw.
Yeah, well,
But
force
they
them
gotta
to
make
draw
them- yep.
into the. Or, I mean, I don't know how, I can't see the alignment of the guard, but just getting it draw under on that side.
Yeah, and I think that, I'm not sure how much that sheet is curling, but looks like they're going to try to draw around. Get underneath. Yeah, probably going to try to freeze on that back one.
Looks a little heavy to me, but
Slowing down here
I'm
a
not
little
good
bit.
at that.
Sweepers are on it.
Except when I need to be, and then I'm perfect. Oh, she's trying to move it over.
Yep, just trying to get right behind that guard.
That's a pretty nice wade.
Yep, great shot. I'm not sure if that's peeking out at all. I don't have.
Who's doing the sweeping there? Alexi Lanigan.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to try to hit that out.
Yeah, it might be. Looks like it might be peeking out.
Should just do that same run back. That'd be dramatic.
That would be dramatic.
Run that back.
Yeah, she just played it, so there's a chance she'll go for it again.
Have you ever curled with mittens?
With who?
Mittens on?
Oh, I have, yes. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't even like holding the broom
No.
with mittens on. It just feels weird.
Yeah.
But actually, I've never done it. I just know from shoveling snow that I hate mittens.
Yeah, to each their own. When it
Choppers,
comes to that.
though. A pair of choppers.
Yeah, they're warm.
Yeah.
Give you that. Did you see what the call was?
I think they're going to come over and try to tap the yellow.
Okay.
I'm guessing, just based on the broom.
Yeah.
She didn't really tap on the rock, but
Okay.
I like how she set a rock and she got up, got all straight. Richie says a lot of times when you clean your rock, you ruin up your line.
Ah.
All right, they're off. They're off.
Yeah, it's got to move quite a bit here. It's going to be close. They got to rub off.
It's
and stay
it's
in the
crossing
forefoot.
over the center.
I think they got it.
Very nice.
There you go.
Very nice. So Trexler wins.
Yep.
Good handshakes. Final end. So thanks, Evan,
Yeah,
for jumping
welcome.
on the mic. This is a good time. Oh, is this Scott came by to ask me what kind of whiskey we're going to drink now. Yeah. So, all right.
Are you guys going to be on for the next draw?
No, it's going to be Dex and Jordan and myself. Are you around for the next draw?
I'm in the next draw.
Oh.
Actually, it's we're playing on 5. You will
Nice.
be commentating
Well, then
our
I
game.
might have to jump on
I
there.
think we're playing Jason Smith.
All right.
So
Jason, could you mute us? and stop the stream. Thank you.
Yep, thanks.